It's live now.
ठीक है, लोग तो 5-7 मिनट लेट से कर रहे हैं आप। सर, इफ यू परमिट वी कैन स्टार्ट बाय 5:10।
5-10 मिनट्स में स्टार्ट करने बोल रहे हैं।
76 पार्टिसिपेंट तो आएगा, 5 मिनट बाद चालू कर लेंगे।
4:10।
I thought 5-10 minutes.
No.
5 minutes, after 5 minutes we can be able to start, I think.
But Nitish, why are you penalizing those 70 members who have already joined?
Okay, then that is what I said.
नहीं, आप 10 मिनट वेट, आप 10 मिनट बाद ज्वाइन करवा लीजिए, वो कोई बात नहीं।
आपके जो बटन माने they would be able to listen you from the start. That was the only input. Maybe 4-5 we can start like that. 10 minutes.
And everyone is kindly requested not to mention the names and membership number in the chat box because it shall be auto-populated. Thank you.
90 people has already joined, sir.
I can make out, sir. I can see that. अब तो Zoom का experience हमें भी हो गया है. We can also make out what is happening.
From 80% to 70% exposure now, auditable branches is this year also is going to be drastically reduced.
देखिए ऐसा है, ब्रांच ऑडिट, बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट, मैं तो खैर पिछले 15 साल से या उससे ज्यादा से कह रहा हूँ that we have to reduce our dependence on it. लोग उस वक्त मुझ पे हंसते थे कि मैं ये क्या बोल रहा हूँ, और सक्सेसिव प्रेसिडेंट ने ये कहा कि ये बड़ा पैसिमिस्टिक आदमी है, और मेरा मानना तब भी ये था और आज भी ये है कि कुछ चीजें ना बिल्कुल दीवार पे लिखी होती है, हम उसको पढ़ना नहीं चाहते, और शायद ये भी उनमें से एक है।
सर, आपका वेट कुछ कम हुआ क्या?
सर, मेरी अभी एक सर्जरी हुई है, नी रिप्लेसमेंट करवाई है मैंने, इसलिए मैं कहीं पे ट्रेवल भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ और मैं ज्यादा बैठ भी नहीं पाऊंगा वेरी फ्रैंकली, क्योंकि वो स्टिफ हो जाता फिर एकदम से, नहीं तो नहीं। वही, ये तो नीतीश की जिद है कि हम आए हुए हैं यहाँ पे। नीतीश भाई जब पीछे पड़ जाते हैं तो छोड़ते नहीं किसी को। और
आपका चार्म रहता है लोगों को।
ये मेरा ख्याल इनके इलेक्शन का सबसे बड़ा गुर यही है।
छोड़ के आ गई होगी।
एक बेस्ट स्पीकर चलाया, जो बेस्ट है।
अब वो एक बार फोन करेंगे, 2 बार करेंगे, आप कितनी बार मना करेंगे किसी को? एक बार बताइए आप, बड़ा मुश्किल है। और जिसको आप छोटा भाई समझते हो या बेटा समान समझते हो, उसको मना करना एक स्टेज के बाद मुश्किल हो जाता है। इनसे मैंने बोला कि भाई मेरी वो स्थिति नहीं है बैठने की। बोले आप 15 मिनट बोल दीजिए, आधा घंटा बोल दीजिए, पर आपको आना जरूर है। अब जब आदमी यहाँ पे ये इतना बोल दे तो फिर आपको ये कहना पड़ता है अच्छा भाई आ जाऊंगा। ये इनका परसिवियरेंस है।
धन्यवाद सर, आपने हाँ भरी सर।
नहीं, आपका परसिवियरेंस है नीतीश भाई, और आपको ये बता सकता हूँ ये आपके बहुत काम आएगा कैरियर में, जिंदगी में, और पर्टिकुलरली जिन्होंने इलेक्शन लड़ना होता है उनके बहुत काम आता है ये।
सर मेरा
Can we start, sir?
We can start, sir.
It's already 4.
हाँ चालू
ठीक है,
करते हैं फिर हम।
4:05 पे शुरू करेंगे। नवीन
वो आए नहीं अभी, अजय जी नहीं आए।
नहीं, अजय जी बोले कि 4:45 तक ज्वाइन करेंगे।
नहीं, उनको बोल दीजिए कि हैज टू जॉइन एट 4:30 4:35। उनको बोल दीजिए। मैंने उनसे बोल दिया था कि मैं आधा पौने घंटे से ऊपर नहीं बोल।
तब मेरी तो सुबह बात हुई थी ना सर, तो उसके बाद
मेरी दोपहर को बात हुई है, तो
सुबह
आप
बात हुई
उनसे
है,
फोन करके एक बार कन्वे कर दीजिए।
मैं कर दूँ
क्योंकि मैं रिलैक्स होके बोलना चाहता हूँ। टेंशन में कि जी आगे जी आ गए नहीं आ गए, आज आगे नहीं आ गए, वो चक्कर।
नहीं, आपका शुरू होगा, मैं उनको फिर रिमाइंड करके बोलूंगा।
क्योंकि मेरा वो जो नी है वो मुझे तंग करता है।
नहीं, एकदम
सर कितना दिन पहले ऑपरेशन हुआ सर?
15-20 मिनट में बोलते हैं।
1.25 महीने हो गए।
1.25 महीने हो गए।
मतलब ये ऐसा है कि चलना शुरू कर दिया है, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं चलता हूँ, पर अगर आप एक जगह बैठ जाते हैं घंटा भर, आधा घंटा, पौना घंटा, तो फिर वो स्टिफ हो जाता।
हाँ
सर क्या है ना, बेस्ट स्पीकर्स आते हैं और आपका सब ऐसा है ना कि आप तो A to Z सब जानते हैं, तो आप आधा घंटा में ही 3 घंटा का आउटपुट दे देते हैं।
चलिए,
अजय सर भी आ गए, आई थिंक सो।
आ गए। प्रभु जी नमस्कार। मेरे कष्ट निवारण करने आए हैं ये।
वेलकम अजय जी, अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ मैं कर रहा हूँ सर, अनम्यूट ही कर रहा हूँ। Everyone is kindly requested not to post the names and membership number in the chat box and keep yourself unmuted, muted. Thank you so much.
चलो 150 हो गया, आप शुरू करो।
चालू करा दो नवीन।
हाँ
नीतीश भाई ने भी एक
everyone,
मुझे लगता है वास्तु कंसल्टेंट से नीतीश भाई ने कंसल्ट कर रखा कि कितने होंगे तो शुरू करना।
good afternoon everybody. Now let's start with the meeting. First of all, I would like to welcome each and every one of you. Now we can start the meeting by the special address by our deputy convener CA
सरोज जी is there.
Okay, he has come actually. I thought he's not there, that's why I started with you.
Saroj is there.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार।
Saroj,
थैंक यू नवीन, अमरजीत जी सर, जैन सर, सबको मेरा नमस्कार। A very warm welcome to you all in Views platform. I also welcome all the delegates who have joined in. First of all, I wish them a very warm Holi greetings, which we have celebrated yesterday. So it's otherwise we can say Holi ki sabhi ko Ram Ram. Today we have two eminent learned speakers who do not require any introduction at all, because they all are prominent figures and good speakers whom we all are eager to listen them very keenly. Today's topic will be bank audit. Amarjit sir will lead us with the topic with basic overview and planning part, and Ajay sir will take us with the critical changes with respect to LFAR. With this, once again, I thank you all in person. Over to you, Nitesh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome the past president, sir, Ajay Jain ji, and my fellow members. Friends, there is some changes in the RBI policy as far as bank branch audit is concerned. I would just like to mention some of the changes which do impact all of us. From this year, only 70% of the fund and non-fund exposure, credit exposure, that will be covered under audit. However, last year it was 80%. And from next year, friends, PSU banks, they have been empowered to decide on the coverage. So how much percentage the audit will be covered? This will be decided not by the RBI. Now it will, from the next year, it will be decided by the PSU banks itself. So they may, maybe they decide 60% or maybe 50%. And from the experience, I think Audit sir will both this point that 38 to 40% of the exposures that are already audited by the central statutory auditors only. So balance 20% or 30%, those exposures will be only be audited by the bank branch auditors. So number of auditable branch that is going to be reduced by so much. Then each firm will get maximum 2 bank branch audit instead of 3 branch audit. Now they will get only 2 bank branch audit. Maybe that is a step to get the larger number of firms can be covered. Then friends, sole proprietorship experience. Sole proprietorship firm, if you are having a 6 years of existence as well as at least 3 years of experience in the bank branch audit, then only you will be covered in the category 4. So others will not be covered. Then a firm with an exclusive factor and an exclusive PA employee with or without bank audit exposure, but with 6 years of standing, they will be covered as a category 4 bank branch auditor only. Then the firm with at least 2 exclusive partners with or without bank branch audit experience with standing of at least 3 years will be covered as reckoned as category 4 bank branch audit. So these are the changes, friends. With these, may I request our member to kindly introduce the learned speaker, please.
Girdhariji, please introduce.
गिरिराज जी अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा, अनम्यूट को नहीं, अनम्यूट करो.
Sir Amarjit sir, born in the year 1952 in the month of June. He graduated from Delhi University in 1971 and qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1975. He has completed his PhD in the topic NPA management in the bank in the month of February 2022. He is in the practice since last 47-48 years. He is also attached as a faculty in the various colleges and the institutes. He is the regular speaker in the seminars. He is the past president of our institute. He was the president in the year 2009-10. He is nominated by the central government in various committees formed from time to time. He is the privileged to be the chairman of the committee to revise CARO 2016, and he was the chairman of the various committee, mainly corporate law committee, expert advisory committee, accounting standard board. Long list of his achievements in his long career. We always look forward to listen and get guidance from him. He has toured almost all over the world, and he's also got the honorary degree from Australia and Singapore from the institute. We wish him speedy recovery, and with these words, we welcome Amarjit sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks to Nitish Morji, and thanks to the convener and joint convener of this study circle, and my very dear friend, younger brother Ajay Jainji, who is the co-faculty. I must say that already more than 200 members have joined, 204 to be exact, who have joined right now. Despite the fact that the RBI circular reducing the auditable advances to 70% came only 2 days back. ये जानते हुए भी कि इस साल ब्रांचेस जो ऑडिट होंगी उसमें काफी कटिंग हो सकती है, काफी घटेंगी वो ब्रांचेस, इसमें कोई शक नहीं। उसके बावजूद अगर 204 लोग अभी तक आ चुके हैं इस सेमिनार में, वो ये दर्शाता है कि लोगों का इंटरेस्ट ब्रांच ऑडिट में कम नहीं हुआ। और ये उससे ज्यादा बात को दर्शाता है कि नीतीश मोदी की जो एक लीडरशिप है, जो उनका जो चार्म है लोगों को बुलाने का, कम नहीं। देखिए ये जो वैसे तो काफी हद तक डिस्टर्बेंस बहुत हो रही है। नवीन जी ये डिस्टर्बेंस कहाँ से आ रही है?
सर मैं सबको म्यूट करके रखा हूँ। ये
सबको म्यूट कर दीजिए।
हाँ, अनुराग अग्रवाल इज नॉट म्यूटेड। ठीक है सर,
आप सबको म्यूट कर दीजिए एक्सेप्ट द स्पीकर।
यस सर।
और फिर अगर किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछना होगा एट द एंड ऑफ द टॉक, वो पूछ लें, उनको आप अनम्यूट कर दीजिएगा।
ओके सर।
वैसे तो नीतीश जी ने जो चेंजेस आई हैं मोटी मोटी वो बता दी इस सर्कुलर के तहत। इसमें सबसे बड़ी जो चेंज है वो तो ये है कि भाई जो पहले भी मैंने बोला कि जो एडवांसेस हैं, चाहे वो फंडेड है या नॉन फंडेड है, पहले वो 80% ऑडिट हो रहे थे, अब वो 70% ऑडिट होंगे। हालांकि उन्होंने जो वर्डिंग इस्तेमाल की है वो की है मिनिमम, परंतु मिनिमम मैक्सिमम बन जाता है। क्योंकि कोई भी बैंक जितना आरबीआई कह देता है भाई इतने के आपको करवाना जरूरी है, उतने के ही करवाता है, उससे नहीं ज्यादा करवाता नहीं। क्योंकि कौन अपना ऑडिट करवाना पसंद करता, पहली बात तो ये है। और दूसरा जो चेंज है वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो नीतीश जी ने कवर किया, कि जो डी कैटेगरी की फर्म्स है उनकी डेफिनेशन बहुत हद तक चेंज हो गई। और उसमें जो नए लोग हैं खास तौर पे उनको काफी डैमेज होगा। तो ये दो चीजें हुई हैं, इनके कारण हैं। मैंने कल भी किसी जगह मेरा वेबिनार था, उसमें भी मैंने कहा मेरे हिसाब से 3 कारण है, सीधी सी बात। मैं शायद उनमें से हूं जो पिछले 15 साल से कम 15 साल से, अजय जैन जी आपको बता देंगे, ये कह रहा हूं कि हमें अपनी ब्रांच ऑडिट पे डिपेंडेंसी खत्म करनी चाहिए। क्योंकि अगर बैंक्स कंप्यूटराइजेशन की तरफ जा रहे हैं, आईटी सिस्टम्स की तरफ जा रहे हैं, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आ रहा है, सब कुछ आ रहा है, तो वो ऑडिट उस तरीके से चलेगा नहीं जिस तरीके से पहले चल रहा था। तो एक तो कारण है बैंक्स में जो भी कंप्यूटराइजेशन हुआ है, जो भी आईटी सिस्टम्स आए हैं, उनके रहते हुए क्या इतनी ब्रांचेस का ऑडिट होना जरूरी है या नहीं है, ये कारण है। इसके संबंधित ही एक बात यह है कि हमारे जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स हैं, चाहे वो आईसीआईसीआई बैंक है, चाहे एक्सिस बैंक है, आईडीबीआई बैंक है, एचडीएफसी बैंक है, इनके भी ऑडिट हमारे मेंबर्स ही कर रहे हैं, इसमें भी किसी तरीके का कोई शक नहीं है। उसमें से कुछ हमारे अपने जो काउंसिल में लोग रह चुके होंगे वही कर रहे होंगे। अगर उनका ऑडिट बिना ब्रांचेस ऑडिट के हो सकता है और वो ऑडिटर्स इस बात में किसी तरीके का कोई ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं लेते हैं कि भाई 30% एडवांस ऑडिट हुआ है या 25% एडवांस ऑडिट हुआ है या 40% एडवांस ऑडिट हुआ है, और उनका ये मानना है कि सिस्टम्स के थ्रू जाके हम सेंट्रल ऑफिस पे बैठ के सारा रिकॉर्ड ऑडिट कर सकते हैं, तो आरबीआई का ये आर्गुमेंट या आईबीआई का ये आर्गुमेंट है कि अगर आपके प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स में आपके मेंबर ऑडिट कर सकते हैं, और अगर उस लेवल की आईटी सिस्टम या उस लेवल की कंप्यूटराइजेशन पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में हो गई है, तो फिर यहां पे क्यों ब्रांच ऑडिट होना चाहिए? यहाँ पे मैं एक पॉइंट जरूर कहना चाहूंगा, मेरे ख्याल में इंस्टीट्यूट को ये विषय टेकअप करना चाहिए। अब तो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट आपके शहर से हैं, आपके रीजन से हैं, और शायद पता नहीं 40-50 साल बाद हुआ कि बैक टू बैक ईस्ट से प्रेसिडेंट आ रहे हैं। ये बड़ा मुबारक का विषय है ईस्टर्न रीजन के लिए। इंस्टीट्यूट को ये टेकअप करना चाहिए कि जो सिस्टम्स प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स में इस वक्त है, वो सिस्टम्स पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में नहीं है। प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स में सारे के सारे जो एडवांसेस के डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं वो डिजिटाइज्ड हैं। उनका ऑडिट शायद सेंट्रल ऑफिस में बैठ के हो सकता है, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि होना चाहिए, मैं ये समझता हूं कि हो सकता है। अगर उनके ऑडिटर ये समझते हैं कि उनका ऑडिट हो सकता है तो हो सकता होगा। मैं आई विल नॉट लाइक टू आइदर क्रिटिसाइज और नॉट लाइक टू गो विद देम ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर इशू। परंतु जो पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स हैं उनके रिकॉर्ड अभी तक डिजिटाइज नहीं है, और मुझे ये समझ नहीं आता कि हमारी पीडीसी इस बात को क्यों कन्विंस करने में समर्थ नहीं है रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया को, कि भाई आप ये कह रहे हैं कि एनपीए आइडेंटिफिकेशन सारी की सारी पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में सिस्टम्स के थ्रू, सिस्टम के थ्रू नहीं है पूरी की पूरी आइडेंटिफिकेशन एनपीएस की। अगर यही हो तो फिर सीएसएस या ब्रांच ऑडिटर्स एमओसी क्यों डलवा रहे हैं एनपीएस के? अगर यही बात है तो फिर मेरी इंटरेस्ट की रिकवरीज क्यों निकलती हैं अगर सारा का सारा सिस्टम जनरेटेड चीजें हैं? और रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग के अंदर तो कहीं पे भी आपके हर एक जगह मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन है फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर मैटर। और मेरा उससे ज्यादा गहरा जो सवाल है इंस्टीट्यूट को भी और आरबीआई को भी, कि भाई जितने भी स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट्स, जितनी बैलेंस शीट्स, जितने रिटर्न्स मेरे क्लाइंट मेरे बोरोवर्स फाइल करते हैं पर्टिकुलरली कैश क्रेडिट अकाउंट्स में, या उन केसेस के अंदर वो रिकॉर्ड्स डिजिटाइज होकर सेंट्रल ऑफिस पे नहीं है, उसके लिए ब्रांच ऑडिट होना जरूरी है। नहीं तो मैं ये निकालूंगा कैसे कि जो बैलेंस शीट में स्टॉक्स दिखाए हुए थे वही रिटर्न्स में दिखाए हुए या नहीं? और अगर मैं वो नहीं दिखा पा रहा हूं फिर मुझे सोचना पड़ेगा कि क्या करना। ये बड़ा सिंपल सा विषय है, ये इतना गहरा विषय नहीं है कि हम कन्विंस नहीं कर पाए रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया को। मेरे ख्याल में हम कितने भी केसेस निकाल के दे सकते हैं जिसमें बैलेंस शीट्स और जो रिटर्न्स फाइल होती है, जो बोरोवर्स फाइल करते हैं, उनमें बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंसेस हैं। और वो ब्रांच ऑडिट लेवल पे बैठ के हो सकता है, वो सेंट्रल ऑफिस में बैठ के आज की डेट में पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में नहीं हो सकता। And if that is the case, I think we have a case before the Reserve Bank of India not to lower the auditable advances, not to do away with the audit of the, you can say, the smaller branches. पर ये भी फैक्ट है कि आज अगर मेरे 75 से 80 लाख करोड़ के एडवांसेस हैं बैंकिंग सिस्टम में, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में, उसमें से करीबन 13.5 से 15 लाख करोड़ के जो है वो एग्रीकल्चरल एडवांसेस हैं, which constitutes almost 1/5 of the total advances. वो कहां पे सिस्टम आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा कि ये अकाउंट्स एनपीए हैं? और हमें पता है कि एग्रीकल्चरल एडवांसेस में क्या हालत है। एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर में सब में हालत ये है कि लास्ट डे को कैश आता और कैश चला जाता, वो सिर्फ एंट्रीज हैं और कुछ नहीं। वो कभी भी सिस्टम नहीं पकड़ पाएगा उस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट को। परंतु ये भी फैक्ट है कि हम में से कितने लोगों ने उन एडवांसेस को एनपीए किया। हम ब्रांच ऑडिट कर रहे हैं उन ब्रांचेस का, हम में से कितने लोगों ने उसको एनपीए किया? ये भी फैक्ट है कि हमने नहीं किया। तो मैं पहला जो कारण दिया था वो ये था कि कंप्यूटराइजेशन है बैंक्स के अंदर, और प्राइवेट और पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स को मैंने डिफरेंशिएट करने की बात की है। और मैंने ये भी कहा कि आरबीआई का ये जो एक स्टैंड है, ये जो एक स्टैंड है कि साहब जितने एनपीए पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में है वो सिस्टम जनरेटेड है, इट इज अ मिथ। ये झूठ है, ये इसमें कोई सच्चाई नहीं है। A very substantial percentage of the NPAs are remain unidentified because of the manual intervention of the branches or the zonal offices. तो हमें इस बात को कन्विंस करना चाहिए कहीं ना कहीं पे। पर ये भी फैक्ट है कि हमको ब्रांच ऑडिट जिस तरीके से करने चाहिए थे, और ये मैं बार बार कहता रहा हूं, मेरे ख्याल में जब भी कलकत्ता आया हूं या जिस शहर में भी गया हूं मैंने ये बात कही है कि हमने कुल्हाड़ी पे जाके पैर मारा है। हमने, क्योंकि हमने वो काम उस तरीके से किया नहीं जिस तरीके से हमको करना चाहिए था। हम यही कहते रहे कि साहब जीएम का प्रेशर आ गया, डीजीएम का प्रेशर आ गया, ईडी का प्रेशर आ गया, सीएमडी का प्रेशर आ गया। अरे भाई प्रेशर तो आएगा ही आपको, आप ऑडिटर हैं। अगर आप एज एन ऑडिटर प्रेशर लेना नहीं चाहते हैं या नहीं ले सकते हैं तो फिर ऑडिट करना छोड़ दें। ये मैं कह सकता हूं, मैं भी ब्रांच ऑडिटर हूं आज की डेट में, पिछले 4 साल से ब्रांच ऑडिटर हूं। पर प्रेशर लेने की कैपेसिटी तो होनी चाहिए ना किसी व्यक्ति में जो ऑडिटर है। और अगर हम ये कहते रहेंगे कि साहब जीएम ने कह दिया, तो फिर तो जो मेरे प्राइवेट सेक्टर वाला क्लाइंट है वहां तो अगर वो कह देगा तो फिर तो जो भी है सो है। तो अगर जीएम के कहने पे एमओसी बदल सकता है, डीजीएम के कहने पे एमओसी बदल सकता है, तो मेरे ख्याल में ये एक दर्दनाक विषय है। ये एक ऐसा विषय है जिसपे हमें सोचना पड़ेगा कि क्या ये सही है, और क्या इसी कारण से तो ब्रांच ऑडिट की उपेक्षा नहीं की जा रही। और मेरे अपने हिसाब से एक बहुत बड़ा कारण ये है कि इसकी वजह से भी मेरे ऑडिटेबल एडवांसेस जो हैं वो कम हो रहे हैं, हम माने या ना माने, क्योंकि हम अपने पे ब्लेम नहीं लेना चाहते। तो हम में से कोई भी व्यक्ति अपने पे ब्लेम नहीं लेना चाहता। हम ये कहते रहेंगे 4 दिन में ऑडिट करना, 3 दिन में करना, 2 दिन में करना, कितने दिन में करना। अरे लो ना ऑफ टाइम, आपको किसने मना किया टाइम लेने को? ये नहीं है कि आप एक ब्रांच में जाके महीना भर लगा दें। एक छोटी ब्रांच है उसमें 3-4 दिन में आप कर सकते हैं, मीडियम साइज ब्रांच आप 6 दिन में कर सकते हैं, बड़ी ब्रांच आप 10 दिन में कर सकते हैं, प्रोवाइडेड यू नो व्हाट द बैंकिंग इज। मुश्किल ये है कि हम सारे सिस्टम को ब्लेम करना चाहते हैं, हम काउंसिल को ब्लेम करना चाहते हैं, हम आरबीआई को ब्लेम करना चाहते हैं, हम बैंकों को ब्लेम करना चाहते हैं, परंतु हम अपने पे ब्लेम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना चाहते कि शायद हम में वो धारणा नहीं थी कि हमको एक क्वालिटी का ऑडिट देना है बैंक ब्रांच में। और ये मैं आपको बता सकता हूं कि दिस हैज बीन वन ऑफ द मोस्ट डैमेजिंग फैक्टर्स सो फार एज द रिडक्शन इन द ऑडिटेबल एडवांसेस इज कंसर्न। और एक बात ये भी है, एक फैक्टर ये भी है कि जब वो सरकार वालों के पास डाटा जाता है, आरबीआई के पास डाटा जाता है, मिनिस्ट्री के पास डाटा जाता है, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री के पास डाटा जाता है, उनको ये लगता है कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक आईसीआईसीआई को अगर कंपेयर करें पीएनबी से, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा से, कैनरा बैंक से, उनकी फीस जो है वो शायद 1/5, 1/10, 1/6 है कंपेयर टू द पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स। तो वो क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं कि भाई ऐसा क्यों है? साइज वही है, प्रोफेशनल वही है, वो सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि वहां पे बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट होता नहीं, यहाँ पे बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट होता है, उसकी वजह से कॉस्ट बढ़ जाती है। उनका कहना यह है कि आप ही के प्रोफेशन के लोग वहां पे बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट के बिना सर्टिफाई कर रहे हैं ट्रेंड फेयर का, और यहाँ पे आप कहते हैं कि बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट के बिना हो नहीं सकता। सो इज इट ए कॉस्ट ऑफ नेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ द बैंक्स? पब्लिक डिपॉजिट वहां पे भी है, पब्लिक डिपॉजिट यहाँ पे भी है। तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि यहाँ पे पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा, वहां पे पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट कम है। हम ये इस बात को नहीं कह पाएंगे। पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट जितना वहां पे है उतना ही यहाँ पे, या जितना यहाँ पे उतना ही वहां पे। तो मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूं आपको, कहीं ना कहीं पे ये जो ऑडिट फी का मसला है, ये भी एक कारण रहा है, और शायद ये एक कारण रहा कि पिछले 10 साल में फीस नहीं बढ़ पाई, और जब आप बढ़ी है तो सिर्फ 10% बढ़ी है, जबकि जो एक ग्रुप सा बना था उसमें मोर और लेस एग्रीड था कि एक हायर परसेंटेज फी बढ़ेगी आज से 2 साल पहले, तो वो बढ़ी नहीं, क्योंकि आईपीए ने और मिनिस्ट्री ने ये ऑब्जेक्शन उठाया कि भाई प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स की फीस इतनी कम है और पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स की फीस ऑलरेडी ज्यादा, वो है सिर्फ ब्रांच ऑडिट की वजह से ज्यादा, तो वह ब्रांच ऑडिट इज रिक्वायर्ड। ये कुछ कारण मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि ये ठीक है या गलत है अभी। हाँ, एक कारण मैं पक्का कहता हूं कि ब्रांच ऑडिट की क्वालिटी जो सफर की है हमारे अपनी वजह से, वो एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है। इंस्टीट्यूट का कोई भी काउंसिल मेंबर, कोई प्रेसिडेंट, कोई वाइस प्रेसिडेंट जाकर जब आरबीआई के साथ बात करेगा, आईबीए के साथ बात करेगा, मिनिस्ट्री में बात करेगा, तो ये पूछते हैं भी आज ये आप कह रहे हैं कि भाई एग्रीकल्चरल एडवांसेस के आइडेंटिफिकेशन जो है वो सिस्टम के थ्रू नहीं हो रही, तो आपने क्या किया जब आप ब्रांच ऑडिट कर रहे थे? कितने केसेस में आपने अकाउंट एनपीए किए? और ये भी फैक्ट है कि अगर इंस्टीट्यूट स्टडी कंडक्ट करवाता है कि ब्रांच ऑडिटर्स ने कितने एमओसी दिए हैं टोटल, तो उसमें टोटल साइज एनपीएस का क्या निकलेगा, वो बहुत एक नेग्लिजिबल परसेंटेज होगी। तो हमें अपने कार्य के बारे में, अपनी कार्यशैली के बारे में, अपने स्किल सेट्स के बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा। ये मैं बार बार दोहराता रहा हूं, फिर दोहरा रहा हूं इस बात को। अगले साल से तो उन्होंने बैंक्स को कह दिया कि भाई आप डिसाइड कर लेना कि कितने परसेंटेज ऑडिट करवाना आपने या नहीं करवाना। और ये भी फैक्ट है, देखिए ब्रांचेस कम होंगी ऑडिट में, क्योंकि जब मर्जर्स हुए बैंक्स के, विजया बैंक का अगर मर्ज हुआ बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा के साथ, तो अगर एक ही स्ट्रीट में 3 ब्रांचेस हैं, उसमें बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की भी और विजया बैंक की भी है, तो वो तो कंबाइन हो जाएंगी ब्रांचेस, उतनी ब्रांचेस रहेंगी नहीं ऑडिटेबल। और फिर ये भी है कि जितने एडवांसेस बड़े वाले हैं वो सारे के सारे एक जगह मर्ज हो रहे हैं। जब मर्ज होंगे एडवांसेस एक जगह, ब्रांचेस को आप स्पेशलाइज कर देंगे, तो भी आपके ऑडिट्स कम होंगे। अगर हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि आईसीआई के कहने पे ये प्रोसेस रुक जाएगा, तो वो प्रोसेस रुक नहीं सकता, वो प्रोसेस नहीं रुक सकता। हाँ, ये प्रोसेस रुक सकता है कुछ हद तक अगर हम एज ब्रांच ऑडिटर्स ये ठान लें कि हमें क्वालिटी ऑडिट करना है और हमें वो निकाल के देना है जो सरकार चाहती है कि आप निकाल के दें। और अगर मैं यही डरता रहूंगा, और अब तो सीधी सी बात ये, इस बार उन्होंने 70% किया, ये 10% का घाटा 10% का नहीं रहेगा सबके लिए, क्योंकि पहले लोगों को 3-3 ब्रांचेस आती थी, अब उन्होंने कह दिया 2 से ब्रांचेस ज्यादा किसी को देनी नहीं। और अगर 2 से ज्यादा ब्रांचेस किसी को नहीं देनी है, तो इसका जो इम्पैक्ट 100% होना था 10% का किसी जगह पे, अगर सपोज कीजिए किसी बैंक में 2000 ब्रांचेस कम हो रही थी ऑडिट के लिए, तो वो नंबर ऑफ ऑडिटर्स पे उतना असर नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि 3 ब्रांचेस की जगह बाकी जो ब्रांचेस हैं वो 2 ऑडिट होनी है ऑडिटर से। परंतु एक फैक्ट ये भी है कि अगर 2 ही ब्रांचेस का ऑडिट होना और कैटेगरी 4 के ब्रांचेस हैं, तो भाई कितनी फीस बन जाएगी आपकी? 1.25 लाख बन जाएगी, लाख बन जाएगी। तो ये 1.25 लाख 1.5 लाख के लिए हम लड़ना चाहते हैं सरकार के साथ हर वक्त, ये भी सोचने का विषय है। तो why not to develop some other professional opportunities for ourselves? There are enough of professional opportunities in the market, provided we have the requisite skill sets to achieve that. परंतु शायद हम अपनी डिपेंडेंस टैक्स ऑडिट और बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट के ऊपर इतनी ज्यादा कर चुके हैं कि हम उससे हटना नहीं चाहते। और मैं ये पीछे भी जब आया हूं और भी कह रहा हूं, बैंक ब्रांच ऑडिट और टैक्स ऑडिट का वो स्वरूप रहेगा नहीं जो है, और ब्रांच टैक्स ऑडिट में भी अपॉर्चुनिटीज आने वाले सालों में कंपैरेटिवली कम होती रहेंगी, बढ़ेंगी नहीं किसी भी सूरत में। हाँ, बढ़नी है अगर अपॉर्चुनिटीज तो आपकी कंसल्टिंग की बढ़ सकती है टैक्स के अंदर, आपकी कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट्स में बढ़ सकती है। हालांकि कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट्स भी जब बड़ी ब्रांचेस मर्ज हो रही है तो वो भी कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट्स का नंबर भी कम हो जाएगा। और अब तो कई बैंक्स ने सेंट्रलाइज लेवल पे या जोनल लेवल पे ऑडिट करवाना शुरू कर दिया कॉन्करेंट का, क्योंकि वो सारे का सारा जो है ऑफ साइट कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट हो रहा। तो मेरे हिसाब से शायद हमें प्राइवेट सेक्टर में ज्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा। जहां तक ऑडिट्स का सवाल है, स्किल सेट्स डेवलप करने पड़ेंगे, अपने आप को मेंटली तैयार करना पड़ेगा कि हमको क्या करना है। मैं शायद आज सिर्फ एक ही बात कहने आया हूं कि तकलीफ होती है जब हम लोग जाते हैं रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में, मिनिस्ट्री में, और वो हमसे कहते हैं कि आपकी क्वालिटी क्या है। तो हाथ जोड़ के एक ही विनती कर सकता हूं कि भाई ये ताना मत सुनवाइए। ब्रांच ऑडिट में जो आपको कहा जाता है करने को वो करिए, उतना टाइम लगाइए, उतना समय दीजिए ब्रांच ऑडिट के अंदर। अगर आपने स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट ही नहीं देखी, अगर आपने स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट्स को बैलेंस शीट के साथ कंपेयर ही नहीं किया है, अगर आपने डेटर्स की फिगर जो क्लाइंट दे रहा है हर क्वार्टर में उसको उसकी बैलेंस शीट के साथ कंपेयर नहीं किया है, अगर आपने जो उसने क्रेडिटर्स की फिगर दी है उसको उसकी बैलेंस शीट के साथ कभी कंपेयर नहीं किया, तो वो उससे ऑडिट नहीं हो सकता। ये मैं आपको बता सकता हूं। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं सिर्फ। हम कहीं कंकरेंट ऑडिट कर रहे हैं अभी, उसमें कोई रियल एस्टेट कंपनी है, उसके पैसे जो थे वो कुछ ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं एक ऐसी कंपनी को वहां से जो कि बेसिकली एक लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी है, और वो टर्म लोन का पैसा ट्रांसफर हो रहा है। तो हमारी पहली जो शक है वो ये जाती है कि भाई लॉजिस्टिक कंपनी में टर्म लोन का पैसा एक लॉजिस्टिक कंपनी में क्यों ट्रांसफर होगा। और वहां से आप जो निकालते हैं फिर वो एक अलग चीज निकलती है। लॉजिस्टिक कंपनी में पैसा जाएगा, किसी का ट्रक हो सकता है, किसी का गोडाउन हो सकता है, उसके गोडाउन रेंट आपने देना, उसका आपने ट्रकों का रेंट देना। परंतु टर्म लोन का पैसा उसमें क्यों ट्रांसफर होगा। वर्किंग कैपिटल का पैसा ट्रांसफर होना चाहिए ना उसके अंदर। आप गोडाउन तो बिल्ड कर नहीं रहे अपने, आप अपने ट्रक नहीं खरीद रहे। ट्रक खरीद रहे हैं तो अपने नाम में खरीदेंगे, किसी और कंपनी के नाम में क्यों खरीदेंगे। मैं आपको सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं कि कहीं पे आप कॉन्करेंट ऑडिट कर रहे हैं और आप इतना सोच सकते हैं सिर्फ कि ये पैसा ट्रांसफर हुआ करोड़ों में, और ये करोड़ों में पैसा ट्रांसफर हो रहा है किसी लॉजिस्टिक कंपनी में, रियल एस्टेट कंपनी का पैसा क्यों हो रहा। यही दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत जब आप स्टैट्यूटरी ब्रांच ऑडिट में जाते हैं। जब तक आप फाइल नहीं पढ़ेंगे ना क्लाइंट बोरोवर की, तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा। रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के सर्कुलर पिछले 2 साल के आप पढ़िए, वो कहता भाई हर रोज ब्रांच को डेली एंड रन करना है। हो रहा है क्या? ये तो अजय जी बताएंगे आपको हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा। नहीं हो रहा। और हम में से कितने लोगों ने रिपोर्ट किया? डेली एंड रिपोर्ट निकलती है क्या? डेली एंड रिपोर्ट का मतलब ये है कि हर रोज डेली बेसिस के ऊपर एनपी आइडेंटिफाई होना चाहिए, डेली बेसिस के ऊपर। हो रहा है क्या? और अब जो आपको वो स्टॉक से वो जो आपको एनपीए की स्टेटमेंट देते हैं ना, उसी के अंदर आपको पता लग जाता कि मोस्ट ऑफ द एडवांसेस आर बीइंग क्लासिफाइड ऑन 30th सितंबर और 31st ऑफ मार्च एज एनपीएस। तो इसके अंदर डेली बेसिस पे नहीं हो रहा वो, क्योंकि डेली बेसिस का मतलब ये है कि जिस दिन 90 दिन ओवरड्यू के पूरे हो जाएंगे उस दिन वो अकाउंट एनपीए होगा। उसके लिए आपको 31 तारीख की या 30 तारीख की वेट नहीं करनी है। चाहे वो बिल ओवरड्यू हो, चाहे वो टर्म लोन की इंस्टॉलमेंट ओवरड्यू हो, चाहे वो कैश क्रेडिट का जो ओवरड्रॉन अमाउंट है उसके वजह से हो, किसी की वजह से भी हो सकता। हम में से कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने नॉन फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर एनपीएस आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं? हम बार बार एक बात को दोहराते रहे, मैं और अजय जी, कि भाई नॉन फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर्स में पर्टिकुलरली जो अकाउंट रिन्यू होना चाहिए, रिव्यू होना चाहिए, और जो 180 दिन तक नहीं रिव्यू हुआ या नहीं रिन्यू हुआ and it has become overdue for that particular period, this account has to be classified as NPA. हम ये कहते रहे कि साहब, वो कहते हैं इस बेसिस पे थोड़ी ना होना चाहिए, फंड बेस पे होता। भाई नॉन रिन्यूअल क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? नॉन रिन्यूअल क्यों नहीं हो रहा अकाउंट का? रिव्यू क्यों नहीं हो रहा अकाउंट का? क्योंकि पार्टी जो है ना तो स्टेटमेंट फाइल कर रही, ना बैलेंस शीट फाइल कर रही, ना P&L अकाउंट फाइल कर रही, ना बाकी चीजें फाइल कर रही। जो ये चीजें फाइल नहीं कर रही, वो पार्टी का फाइनेंशियल डिसिप्लिन है कहां पे? अगर वो फाइनेंशियल डिसिप्लिन नहीं है, देन व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? और दूसरी बात, जब हम ये कहते हैं कि भाई अगर किसी ने डीपी ड्रॉ किया हुआ है, किसी ने ड्राइंग पावर निकाली हुई है बेस्ड अपॉन ए स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट विच इज मोर देन 180 डेज ओल्ड, उस अकाउंट को भी आपको एनपीए करना। कितने लोगों ने किया? जब स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट ही नहीं देखी तो वो होगा नहीं। मैं ये 100% की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, 90% लोगों की बात कर रहा हूं, 10% तो शायद कर रहे होंगे। मेरा जो कष्ट है, मेरा जो दर्द है, वो ये कि जब कोई व्यक्ति हमारा काम हमारी क्वालिटी की वजह से लेके जाएगा तो दर्द, क्योंकि फिर वो वापस नहीं आता काम। किसी और कारण से जाता है तो वापस आ सकता, परंतु अगर मेरी क्वालिटी की वजह से काम जाता कि साहब ये तो क्वालिटेटिवली परफॉर्म नहीं करते, तो इन सेमिनार्स को कोई फायदा नहीं होता ना। फिर हम हर साल कुछ चीजें दोहराते हैं, हर साल। मैं और अजय जी, मेरे ख्याल में हम दोनों नहीं, मेरे ख्याल कितने स्पीकर्स हैं बैंक ऑडिट के ऊपर इस वक्त इंस्टीट्यूट में। हर साल यही बात दोहराई जाती है, हर साल इन्हीं बात की बार बार रेपिटेशन होती, और हम में से कितने लोग उसको फॉलो करना चाहते हैं। फिर हमें जब फोन आता है ना दोनों को, मैं ये तो बता सकता हूँ, बाकियों को भी यही होता होगा स्पीकर्स को, कि साहब ये मैंने पकड़ लिया पर ब्रांच मैनेजर इंसिस्ट कर रहा है कि इसको छोड़ दो, तो छोड़ दूं साहब? ये अपने को टॉलरेट नहीं है, अपने लिए तो टॉलरेबल नहीं है। फिर आप ये क्या, उस वक्त वो बोलता है कि साहब अगले साल ये मेरी एक ब्रांच कम कर देंगे। अरे क्या कम कर देगा? 2 ही तो मिलनी है अब, कितनी कम कर देगा यार? कितना काम ले जाएगा? अगर एक 40-45 हजार की ब्रांच नहीं भी आएगी तो 4,000 रुपए महीने के काम की वजह से, छूटने की वजह से आप अपनी क्वालिटी को क्यों सत्यानाश कर रहे हैं? यही सोचना शुरू कर दीजिए, ये बहुत है अपने आप में। कितने केसेस में हमने डाइवर्जन पकड़ी कि पैसा डाइवर्ट हो गया। डाइवर्ट होता नहीं है क्या? होता, और क्लियरली पता लग रहा होता कि पैसा डाइवर्ट हो रहा। जिस कैश क्रेडिट अकाउंट में करंट रेशो 1:1 से नीचे की है, पर्टिकुलरली अगर 0.75 की है करंट रेशो,
रोहित बोला था उसको बोल देगा फोन करके टिकट कंफर्म नहीं हुआ है।
बोल तो,
हाँ
बोल दो ना।
नवीन जी,
सर आई एम डूइंग
ये
इट
किसका,
टाइम।
ये किसका है? ये बीच में कौन लेक्चर दे रहे हैं ये बता दीजिए मुझे।
हाँ सर, ये 3-4 जन अपने आप को एक्टिव कर लेके करे, मैं सबको म्यूट कर रहा हूँ।
यार मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला था, इट रियली डिस्टर्ब्स द रिदम यार।
सर एवरीवन इज म्यूटेड नाउ।
और ये तो मतलब कि हर जो पार्टिसिपेंट है उसको खुद सोचना चाहिए।
सर वो अचानक से अपने आप को कर देते अनम्यूट। तब मैं भाग के करता हूँ सबको म्यूट।
नहीं, पर आप ये कर दीजिए ना कि बिना आपके उसके अनम्यूट हो ही नहीं सकता।
ओके ओके सर, ओके।
The control for muting or unmuting should remain with you, not with them.
Okay sir, I've done it.
डांट किसी को पड़ रही होती है, सुननी हमें पड़ती है यहाँ पे। तो what I was trying to say is कि साल हर साल हम वही चीजें रिपीट करते हैं, वही चीजें फिर फोन पे हम सुनते हैं, फिर वही सवाल पूछते हैं, फिर वही सवालों का हम आंसर करते हैं, फिर वो जाके छोड़ भी देते हैं। तो हमारे ये सब करने का क्या फायदा? क्योंकि यहाँ तो हम इतने डरते हैं कि भाई 4,000 रुपये महीने का अगर काम चला जाएगा तो दिक्कत है। और ये मैं जूनियर्स की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, ये मैं बिल्कुल सच्चाई से कह रहा हूं, हमारे सीनियर्स उतने ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं इस चीज के लिए जितने हमारे जूनियर्स। तो मेरी सबसे एक ही प्रार्थना, मैं आज टेक्निकल बात करना ही नहीं चाहता था किसी भी सूरत में। आज मेरा पूरा फोकस यही था कि मैं आप लोगों से एक प्रार्थना करके जाऊं, करबद्ध होकर, कि भाई इस क्वालिटी को कुछ सुधारो, इस प्रोफेशन की रेपुटेशन को बचाओ, और शायद हमें उस कगार पे मत लेके जाओ जहां पे ये बैंक वाले अगले साल से ये कहना शुरू कर दें कि 40% करवाएंगे तो भी वही है, 80% करवाएंगे तो भी वही है। That's all, Nitesh ji, that I will like to say. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Will you take up any questions right now? Actually,
yes, if there are questions, I will take up.
Sir, actually, Pankaj Sharma has asked one question.
Yeah.
During audit nowadays, banks are unable to mail the required data due to security issues. So they are expecting to work on the system itself. So in this case, there will be a lack of audit evidence or work which we have done on their system. How this issue can be tackled as we are not getting even working files?
पंकज जी को आप बजाय उनको कहिए सीधी बात ही कर लें, तब बात जरा ज्यादा अच्छी हो जाएगी। मैं उनका समझना चाहता हूँ कि क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं वो।
उनको अनम्यूट कर दो।
ओके सर, एक्चुअली फिर मुझे सभी को करना पड़ेगा। ओके, आई एम
नहीं, आप उन्हीं को अनम्यूट करें ना।
ओके पंकज।
एक बात तो मैं पंकज जी को क्लियर कर दूं कि आपको काम तो उनके सिस्टम पे बैठ के करना पड़ेगा, और अगर आप सिस्टम पे बैठ के काम करेंगे, आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ एनपीएस आपको उसी तरीके से करनी पड़ेगी। मुझे सिक्योरिटी इशू क्या आया इसके अंदर, मुझे समझ नहीं आई बात उनकी। सच्ची बात ये है।
वर्किंग फाइल्स के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं कि ना,
वर्किंग फाइल्स तो जब आप ब्रांच में जाएंगे तभी तो वर्किंग फाइल देखेंगे, क्योंकि वहां पे रिकॉर्ड डिजिटाइज नहीं है। पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में इस वक्त रिकॉर्ड डिजिटाइज नहीं है। आप वर्किंग फाइल अगर देखना चाहते हैं, उनकी सैंक्शन फाइल देखना चाहते हैं, तो फाइल तो आप तभी देखेंगे जब आप ब्रांच में जाएंगे। कोविड के अंदर लोगों ने बिना किस तरीके की क्वालिफिकेशन दिए, किस तरीके के डिस्क्लेमर दिए, मैं उस पर जाना नहीं चाह रहा हूं, परंतु अब तो फिजिकल मूवमेंट हो रही है ना। जब फिजिकल मूवमेंट हो रही है और आप ब्रांच के अंदर जा रहे हैं, ब्रांच के अंदर आप सिस्टम पे बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं, जो आपके एक्सेप्शंस हैं आप उनके कागज देख रहे हैं, आप उनके कागज देख के जो आप काम करना चाहते हैं करिए। आपको किसने रोका? कैन एनीबडी स्टॉप यू? नोबडी कैन स्टॉप यू टू डू दैट। मुझे सिक्योरिटी इशू नहीं समझ आया कि क्या सिक्योरिटी इशू है। हाँ, आप ये कहें कि हम तो ये घर लेके जाएंगे, हम अपने सिस्टम के ऊपर डाटा लेके जाएंगे, वो तो मना कर सकते हैं, उसमें क्या दिक्कत है? They may not allow you to do that. और डंप तो फिर भी वो दे देते हैं आपको कि डंप पे आप काम करना चाहते हैं, कर लीजिए, डंप पे काम करना तो आपने, nobody stops you to do that। परंतु आप ये कहें कि सारी की सारी मुझे अपनी एक्सेस दे दीजिए घर पे बैठ के, वो शायद मुश्किल काम है। बाकी आप अजय जी से बात कर लीजिएगा। अजय जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे इस बारे में?
Banks will not give. Every bank has done the hardening in their system.
Yeah.
Or even some bank, the system is like they will send the mail and using some words or the annexure, the mail will bounce back and the staff will get mail from the corporate office. Why you have sent this mail? So they are providing login to us. They are providing system to us. So Excel is there, then we can do the working over that. Only we need some balancing reports and all these things to do the analysis that banks are providing. There is nothing wrong in it. But apart from that, if we will do anything, then certainly they will be having the restriction. Every bank, even now in the concurrent audits, they are not providing the data.
Yeah.
And we have to sit in the branch and we have to do.
एक्चुअली सर पंकज जी ने ना गलती से ना मुझे डायरेक्टली भेज दिया. आई एम पुटिंग द मैसेज इन द चैट बॉक्स टू एवरीवन टू सी. He is asking, sir, due to technical issue, I am unable to unmute. Okay, I am specifically talking about CCDP and loan bank files.
CCDP में क्या है यार? CCDP का अकाउंट आपके सामने है, आप देख रहे हो, परंतु उसकी स्टॉक रिटर्न देखने के लिए तो आपको ब्रांच में बैठना पड़ेगा ना. आप उसकी स्टॉक रिटर्न देखोगे कैसे? आपने अगर उसके स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट देखने, आप उसकी फाइलें देखोगे, आप उसकी, क्योंकि मैंने पहले बोला आपको स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट आर नॉट डिस्ट्रेस्ड सो फार बेसिकली. तो उसके लिए अगर आप ब्रांच में नहीं जाओगे तो कैसे होगा? ब्रांच में तो जाना ही पड़ेगा. मैं नहीं तो, अगर आप ये कह रहे हो कि हमें ब्रांच में जाना ही नहीं है, तो फिर तो आप ये मान लो कि 40% 50% पे वैसे ही हो जाना है ऑडिटेबल एडवांसेस. फिर क्या दिक्कत है? अगर आप ये मान के चल रहे हो कि पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स का सारा रिकॉर्ड डिजिटाइज्ड है और आप घर बैठ के ऑडिट कर सकते हो, तो फिर क्या दिक्कत है? Then there is no problem.
Sir, Vicky Shaw has asked one question. Short review has been done by bank after 6 months from due date of renewal. Should such loan be classified as NPA?
ऐसा है कि आप 6 महीने के अंदर अंदर उन्होंने कर दिया, आप उसको एक 3 महीने का रिव्यू दे दो. अगर 3 महीने के बाद फिर भी नहीं करता, उसके बाद एनपीए कर दो, क्या दिक्कत है? हमारे तो नॉर्थ में एक बैंक था, उसने 5-5 साल तक कुछ नहीं किया. अजय जी को भी मालूम है. अब उन पे डंडा चल गया आरबीआई का, पूरा डंडा चला आरबीआई का. तो ये ऐसा है कि जब तक हम नहीं जागेंगे कोई नहीं जागेगा. हमको खुद जागना पड़ेगा उनको जगाने के लिए. और कोई?
Sir, I am allowing all the participants to unmute themselves. ठीक है ना? अगर किसी को कुछ पूछना होगा, they can raise their hands and ask the question. If anyone wants to ask, we have next 5 minutes है हम. Sir, Parimal Jain is asking, sir, if there is mismatch in debtor and stock in balance sheet, year of end, the से क्या लिखा, and month of April and May.
मैं बता देता हूँ क्वेश्चन. मैं उनसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, आज आप किसी कंपनी को ऑडिट करने गए, मैं तो ये पूछ रहा हूँ उनसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ. आप किसी कंपनी को ऑडिट करने गए, अब तो शेड्यूल 3 में ये रिक्वायरमेंट है कि मैनेजमेंट को सर्टिफाई करना है कि जो उन्होंने रिटर्न्स फाइल किए हैं विद द बैंक्स, दीज टैली विद द बैलेंस शीट, और ऑडिटर को कारों में ये रिपोर्ट करना. तो फिर आप क्या करेंगे? जब अब तो एज एन ऑडिटर आल्सो आपकी ड्यूटी है, जब आप कंपनी को ऑडिट कर रहे हैं कि आपने वो टैली करना. अगर ये फिगर टैली नहीं करती हैं तो फिर आप क्या करेंगे? फिर आप इसको जो रिपोर्ट करना, आरबीआई ने कहा अगर 1 करोड़ से ऊपर का फ्रॉड है तो आप हमें बताइए. ये सर्कुलर में भी जो लेटेस्ट सर्कुलर आया इसके अंदर भी उन्होंने बोला. इसमें एक ही टेक्निकलिटी है, मैं ये बता दूं. अब ये बोलेंगे कि साहब वो स्टेटमेंट मुझे देता 25 तारीख की, बैलेंस शीट
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वही था सर.
बैलेंस शीट है 31 तारीख की. तो भाई अगर उसके डेटर्स, सपोज कीजिए मैं आपको एक हाइपोथेटिकल फिगर दे रहा हूँ, वो दिखाता कि मेरे डेटर्स 25 तारीख को थे 1 करोड़ के, और 31 मार्च को दिखा रहा है कि मेरे डेटर्स जो हैं वो सिर्फ है 75 लाख के. तो 25 लाख रुपए आना चाहिए ना बैंक के अंदर 5 दिन में, या नहीं आना चाहिए? डेटर्स का पैसा कहाँ जाएगा? कैश में तो नहीं आएगा. इट हैज टू कम टू द बैंक. अगर बैंक में नहीं आया तो आपका क्वेश्चन होना चाहिए कि वो ये डेटर कम कैसे होगा. और फिर 5 दिन में सेल भी हुई होगी कुछ ना कुछ बेसिकली. ये सब चीजें रिकंसिलिएशन की हैं जो आप कर सकते हैं आराम से, परंतु हम उस पर अपना दिमाग नहीं लगा रहे हैं। कर सकते हैं, ये तो मैं बता सकता हूं आपको। और कोई नवीन जी?
नहीं सर, और कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है चैट बॉक्स में, एंड आई थिंक नो वन इज अनम्यूटेड एंड आस्क्ड एनी मोर क्वेश्चन आल्सो। सर एक क्वेश्चन और आया है सर। To give DP, if we do NPA, almost all files will become NPA. Also, we find that renewal with power of branch manager has been made without proper documents.
बॉस, मुझे इस बात की फिक्र है कि सारी ब्रांच एनपीए हो जाए। मुझे इस बात की फिक्र है कि मेरा सर्टिफिकेट का क्या है, सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस का। अगर अकाउंट एनपीए है तो एनपीए है, इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट। और कम से कम यार और कुछ नहीं करो, कम से कम जो मेरे लार्ज एडवांसेस है उनको तो देख लो। और अब तो आपको कारों में लिखना पड़ता, कारों में कह रहा हूँ, लॉन्ग फॉर्म ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में लिखना पड़ता कि कौन कौन से एडवांसेस आपने चेक किए हैं। आपको बकायदा उसका स्टेटमेंट देना पड़ता कि कौन कौन से एडवांसेस आपने चेक किए। तो अगर वो आपने स्टेटमेंट दे दिया कि मैंने ये एडवांसेस चेक किए हुए, और उसमें से कल कोई एनपीए निकल आया जो आपने एनपीए नहीं किया, तो आप तो बच ही नहीं सकते किसी भी सूरत में। तो मेरा अपना मानना यह है कि भाई मुझे इस बात की फिक्र नहीं कि पूरी ब्रांच एनपीए हो जाएगी या सारे अकाउंट एनपीए हो जाएंगे। मुझे इस बात की फिक्र होनी चाहिए कि अगर कोई कल अकाउंट एनपीए निकलता है जो मैंने एनपीए नहीं किया, तो मेरे सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस का क्या होगा।
I think, sir, we can take one last question. Physical stock statement is available with the bank, but the same is not fed into the system. What should we do at that moment?
अगर वो सिस्टम में फीड नहीं की हुई तो फिर डीपी कैसे निकलेगी? फिर तो जीरो डीपी हो गई ना। और अगर जीरो डीपी है तो वैसे ही अकाउंट एनपी है। भाई आप ये कहना चाह रहे हो कि मेरी पुरानी तो फीड है की हुई, अगर पुरानी फीड की हुई है 180 दिन से पहले की तो भी अकाउंट एनपी है, और अगर जीरो फीड की हुई है तो भी अकाउंट एनपी है। तो इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट। तो मेरा अपना मानना ये है, बड़ा क्लियर है। और इसमें तो ये कि आप किसी भी सूरत में इस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से ना तो बचते हो ना उसको बचा सकते हो, ब्रांच मैनेजर को बचा सकते हो।
I think, sir, there's no more question with anybody. So, will you stay till the end, or will you take leave, sir?
No, I will go the moment Ajay ji starts.
Okay, sir.
एक बार वो शुरू करेंगे तो मैं चला जाऊंगा।
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us on a very important topic. 260 plus delegates have become better bank auditors today. You have touched the hotspots on bank audit and the scope dependence on bank audits. Get well soon, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ajay, sir. Girdhari ji, can you please introduce him once?
Welcome, Ajay sir. Ajay sir qualified as a practicing chartered accountant since 1986. He has more than 37 years of experience in bank audit, concurrent audit, statutory audit, branch audit. Today, he is the main speaker to guide us regarding the bank audit, long firm, and all the audit related matters. With these words, we welcome Sri Ajay Jain sir. Ajay Jain sir.
Yes, can you share the screen, please? Give me the admin rights. That will
Yes, sir. हाँ, मैं होस्ट कर रहा हूँ सर को, वही होस्ट कर रहा हूँ। मैं एक होस्ट। Yes, sir, done.
Screen is shared?
Yes, sir, it is shared, sir. It is visible, sir.
Just
Share
I am
what?
opening one hyperlink file. check whether hyperlink files are opening or not. Just 1 minute. So the new file opened? Hyperlink file, I have opened account with temperature.
Yes, sir.
It's okay.
It is visible, sir.
From audit report. Amarjit Chopra sir, Ritesh Morji, convener and deputy convener, other members of the study circle. चोपड़ा साहब के साथ जितने सेमिनार करो उतने कम है. हर सेमिनार में कोई ना कोई वैल्यू एडिशन मिलता ही मिलता है. और कितने वैल्यू एडिशंस मेरे को बेनिफिट हो चुके हैं अनइमेजिनेबल. और चोपड़ा साहब के बोलने के बाद सेकंड स्पीकर को ये सोचना पड़ता है क्या चीज रह गई है वो ढूंढो पहले और उसको शेयर करो. सो और सबसे बड़ी बात है चोपड़ा सर, इस टाइम I was thinking whether we will join together or not, but I am lucky I am getting it. And online we are all available and sharing our views. जैसा चोपड़ा सर ने कहा कि in this bank audit, last year a lot of amendments are there, and every year when we discuss, we will get some new points for the discussion of this. Particularly this long form audit report. If we start reading one line, each and every word of the long audit report at present, it covers a complete bank audit. If we are starting the audit from long form audit report, then certainly we will be able to justify, because in this long form audit report, complete gist of NPA circular has been added last year. So we should be very, very careful. Earlier, basically, what was that in long form audit, we have to be right in some cases, in few cases. I think that time has gone. RBI has to give specific information for each and every item of the potential norms. So it is not reporting, it is, I should say, it is a certification, because the language is like this in this report. And this long form audit report is based on IT driven reports. If first we should go through the complete format of long form audit report. After that, we must know what we need from the banker. Without knowing what we need, we will not be able to ask from the bank. And when we will not ask from them, how they will provide? They will simply say, you have not asked for. And at the end of the day, when we start writing in our report that these informations are not available, they will come with the reply where you have asked. So my request to the members, lot of points I will tell you when I will go through the important point of the long form audit report, what we need from the banker. We should, in the first letter we send to the bank, please provide all these details. Some of the important points Chopra sir has discussed, NPA manual intervention, that I will discuss in detail about this. So all these points, we should know what audit trails we need. This long form audit report itself mentioned, because this LFR data cannot be filled until bank will provide the dump or the audit trail generated from the system. And RBI has issued already many circulars in this regard, which strengthens our power to ask from the bank, please provide all these details. But most important thing, we should write to them, we need these details again and again if they are not providing, so that at the end of the day, we can write what they have not provided. I have just summarized some few points for this bank audit. We must know what we need. We must know what we have to report. Mail communication with the branch. Keep the record of sample verified. We cannot say in some cases, in few cases, we should specifically mention we have verified 30 cases or 40 cases. Out of this, observation found in 10 cases, detail arrest. Tomorrow, if any fraud takes place in a particular area, then they will ask what you have verified. We will say this 30 cases we have verified. on test check basis, and out of these 30 cases, observation found in these cases. So this will be our working paper basically. An RBI circular. At present, rbi.org.in is a superb site, I can say. All the circle we can download from there and update ourselves. I am now taking you to some important clauses, not all important clauses of this long form audit report. There is one clause is there with regard to the ATM. It looks very simple. We go to the branch, we do cash verification of the ATM attached with the branch and give our report. For these branches, it is okay. But if I am getting the audit of the currency chest branch, I got one big branch, the currency chest branch, which was handling around more than 200 ATMs of the town, where they are feeding the cash and generating the report and doing the reconciliation. How we should handle that particular practical situation? So what we should do, every bank is having a system when cash is loaded and they do the frequently physical verification of the cash in the ATM machine. They generate a report, they made a reconciliation, they take out the token from the ATM machine, they write in that report balance as per machine, balance as per system, and they make the report of this if there is any difference. Suppose there are 200 ATMs in the branch, which I am quoting you, which I did. I asked all the 200 ATMs physical verification report from the branch. They might have not been done on a one day. How this difference has been adjusted by the branch in the system. Suppose there is a difference, they might have rectification some next day. So all this reconciliation we should see. If there is any difference still left there at the closing, we should make a part of this our report. So the big branches or the currency chest branches which are handling large number of the ATMs of the town, we should take care of while we are reporting in that. Next comes debit and credit as is originating in a statement provided by Reserve Bank of India and other bank remaining unresponded. This is an old clause. There is nothing in this, because if the branch is having the account with Reserve Bank of India or any other bank, they are making the reconciliation. If old entries are lying there more than 15 days, we have to report. But simultaneously, we have to see if there is any loss to the branch due to that reconciliation, whether it has been accounted for or not, or any provision is to be made for that. Next clause, it is a very important clause. For which branches? Let us read it. Where the branch maintains the account with Reserve Bank of India. Suppose in Calcutta, a particular bank had a zonal office branch that maintains the account with Reserve Bank of India. But with that branch, there are many branches which are linked to this branch. Suppose there are 5 currency chest branches in the city. But what is the currency chest? Who is the owner of the currency chest basically? Reserve Bank of India. But these 5 branches are holding currency chest. Currency chest cash, whatever lying is there. Who is the owner of the cash in currency chest? Reserve Bank of India. So these 5 branches are collecting cash from other branches and keeping in currency chest. Or if other branches needs the cash, they are taking out from that and giving to them. So these deposit or withdrawal entries are being passed by these 5 currency chest branches. But these 5 branches are not having account with Reserve Bank of India. For that, what they have to do? They are depositing and withdrawing these transactions. They are reporting to the branch which is maintaining account with Reserve Bank of India through inter-branch reconciliation. So when the cash is deposited, they will give debit to Reserve Bank of India and credit to their cash. So all these at the debit entry will go to the Reserve inter-branch reconciliation, and the one branch which is maintaining account with Reserve Bank of India, they will give debit to RBI and give credit to their currency chest branch through inter-branch. So debit raised by your currency chest branch and credit raised by the RBI account-based branch, that will be neutralized. So this is the system in the bank. So why this clause has come? Suppose on 31st of March, these 5 branches have done some transaction in currency chest. They have reported these entries to the journal office branch, which are maintaining account with Reserve Bank of India. So there is possibility the transactions which were done at the conscientious branches as on 30th or 31st of March, these are lying unresponded in inter-branch, and the account branch which is maintaining account with the Reserve Bank of India have not responded these entries. So what should have happened? There should be no such entry pending in inter-branch reconciliation. So now it is that this clause is for the auditor of the branch, means zonal office branch, which is maintaining account with the Reserve Bank of India, to take care whatever the entries which have been raised by my conscientious branches up to 31st of March have been responded by this branch by debit or credit to Reserve Bank of India as on 31st of March itself. If not done, so then I should give MOC as on 31st of March and report it here, so that in the bank balance sheet, correct balance of the account with the Reserve Bank of India can be shown. So this is the point, that is why it has been added. Now point is this, how to catch these entries. Every bank is having inter-branch reconciliation system, and on daily basis this report is being generated. On the next day morning, the report is on the desktop of each branch manager, that any entry which is raised by other branches on your branch, but your branch has not responded. So that data, so on 1st of April, we should ask them to provide the inter-branch reconciliation report of 1st April and ask them show the entries. So if the entries are lying unresponded, which pertains to up to 31st of March, then as the auditor of the zonal office branch or the branch having account with the Reserve Bank of India, we should take it up and give MOC and report over here. So this is what clause is for the large branches we have to see. Next comes money at call, short notice. This is nothing. Now come to the loans and advances. Now what is the requirement? So they have defined this time last year large advances. What is the large advances? In excess of 10% of the total outstanding balance of fund-based and non-fund based. They will add the total outstanding figure of the branch, take it the 10% or 10 crore, whichever is less. This is the large advances. But what has been mentioned in that circular, what we should take care of? This time they have asked the auditors to give the detail of accounts, what we have verified, what is the total outstanding balances as on 31st March, what percentage we have verified. So my request is only to the members, we should give in this list only those accounts which we have verified, for which we have audit has been done, because it is the working paper. Basically, RBI has asked from us. Tomorrow, if any fraud takes place in this account, certainly the question will be asked. This is in your sample. Fraud has taken place. What working is yours? What is your working paper in this account? Please let us know. And it will include all the accounts, what we have verified above threshold and below threshold also. So what this time Reserve Bank has said in this circular, above threshold account, we should do the transaction audit. And specific detail is to be verified. This is above the threshold. The account above the threshold means the large advances. For large advances, we should verify what are the specific details. Rate of interest has been correctly fed in. Stock statement data has been correctly updated. Book debt limit DP has been correctly calculated or not. Equitable mortgage data has been correctly updated or not. So a lot of information. Rate interest modification has been done many times during the years. How it has been done? What is the operation about this account? These are all specific details. We have to see where the accounts are large advances. And other than that, which are below this threshold, we should do on test check basis. And the long form audit report itself covers all the points what we have to verify. If we cover all these points, I think audit can be completed comfortably. Because I am again requesting LFR, we should make as an audit program to conduct this audit. Some important point of advances in a long form audit report, what we have to report. Have you come across the cases of quick mortality in the accounts, where the facility within non-performing within a period of 12 months from the date of first action? That data we can easily verify. If we see when we are doing the audit, first of all, we should take the NPA movement statement of the last year and this year, which have been added this year. Now we should see when it was sanctioned. If it is sanctioned within that 12 months, then same to be reported in this clause. Next comes whether the borrower accounts the applicable interest rate is correctly fed into. This is the specific detail. As I've told you, in case of the large advances, we have to verify all these details. There are two types of modification of interest in the banks basically. As on 31st of March, when bank is giving a statement of advances, they are giving the rate of interest which is updated and applicable as on 31st of March. But there is a question. During the year, there are so many times repo rates or reverse repo rates have been changed. And due to that, time to time, rate of interest has also been increased. Correctly fed into doesn't mean only 31st of March, but during the year, as and when rates have been modified. Now, as I told you earlier, we need the computer support. We need the sum of the audit trails from the bank. This is one of that. So very first day we should write, please provide the audit trails with regard to the interest modification done by the branch or the bank during the year. So when we will get this dumped from the bank, in this audit trail, they will say, if suppose in one account 4 times rate of interest has been modified, it will say all these rows. What was the old rate? What is the new rate? When it was modified, what is the value rate of modification? That will show that one also. Then for large advances, we should see from their file, what is the rate of interest, which period, so that we should do on the test check basis. So this is what we have to do, but that can only be done when we will get audit trail from the bank. Again, I am asking, requesting all the members, we must ask these details. If they are not providing these details, we cannot verify. In large cases, we can verify, but if there are say 1,000 accounts or 2,000 accounts, how I can comment on that? Even the test check basis. So we must ask the information from the banks. And if they are not providing information to us, then only we can write these audit trails are not available. However, on test check basis, some 20 accounts verified and our comments are as. And furthermore, this time we should ask from the bank to provide the circulars with regard to the modification of the rate of interest time to time with effective date. So when we will get these two things, then we will be able to comment on this. Same with this one, whether the interest rate is reviewed periodically as per the guidelines applicable floating rate loan linked to the MCLR regular, the same thing. So this is what we can verify by taking the circulars and as well as audit trail. Next points that Chopra sir has discussed. Someone was asking the short review. Have you come across the cases of the frequent renewal, rollover, or short-term loans? If yes, give the details. This is the point, it has been added. The example which Chopra sir given, we have seen the queries are coming from the members earlier. Sir, since last 3 years, there is a lease of the short review has been given to the account. What we should do? My potential norm says maximum 180 days. If within 180 days, if after 180 days, somebody is doing the short review, this is wrong because 180 days has lapsed and in the continuous basis, it will be declared NPA immediately after 180 days if short review is not done. If short review is done within 180 days, for example, for say 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, okay. When it will expire, if not renewed, then it will be NPA. But what happens? Again, the short review is given. Again, the short review is done. So many times it was being done. Logically, if I should say, once the account is due for the renewal and it is renewed, it will be renewed for how many days? 12 months. Because after 1 year, again the next regular annual renewal will be due. How I can give the lease to that account on the basis of the short review beyond 1 year from the due date of the renewal? Even that, this is my personal opinion. I am not accepting. So that is why this circular has come. And what are the contents of this circular? You see what I am saying, that is there. What was the content of the circular? Banks are therefore expected to have detailed board approved policy, methodology and periodicity. Now this circular has given right to me to ask in the first day letter to the bank, please keep ready the detailed board approved policy and methodology and periodicity of the renewal. That bank has to provide. And the example which I am giving on the basis of that, RBI has been very tough on the circular. They have asked that it is a matter of supervisory concern. What? Frequent, repeated ad hoc renewal and review and renewal. Non-capturing and inaccurate capturing of the renewal data. There are the branches I've seen which are just pointing a keyboard and renewed in the system without getting any paper. So to avoid this, RBI has issued this circular, and what RBI has said as the remedial measure in the circular, banks should avoid frequent and repeated ad hoc and short review without justifiable reason. Number one, capture all the data relating to regular as well as all short review in their I4, and same should be made available for scrutiny as and when required by audit, inspection, auditors and the RBI. So this circular gives a strong power to us to ask first, you should keep ready your policy, then provide me the audit trail with regard to what renewal done or short review done in your system. I need these audit details. And on the basis of these audit trails, I can review and comment what is wrong, what is right. If I feel account is NPA, in my opinion, this short review is not acceptable. It has been done, but simply by clicking the button in the system, then certainly we can come to that and report it. So these are the important circular issued by Reserve Bank of India last year, and we should use it while we are asking the detail from the bank. Next point is important in the big branches, not the small. Whether correct and valid credit rating, if available, of the credit facilities of the banks, borrowers from RBI accredited credit rating agencies has been fed into the system. Now, what does this mean? So it is applicable to the big branches. First of all, we should ask what is the bank policy above which limit credit rating has to be done. We should ask that policy. Then we should see this policy has been adhered to or not. And as per this policy, in all the required cases, credit rating has been obtained from the approved credit rating agency. If obtained, suppose the rating is down. We should not leave these cases here. Why it is down, we should reach to the conclusion of this. Whether due to the downgrading of the rating, whether the account has to be classified as NPA or there is an inherent weakness in that. That also we can find it out from that. The cases where rating is available, but rating is valid for a particular period, but period is expired, then this rating is not valid. Then we should write the cases where rating has not been done, as well as the cases where rating is not valid. This is what we have to give. RBI issued a circular latest by on June 9, 2023. June 9, 2023, where the list of approved credit rating agencies have been revised this time. The two names have been added and two have been removed. Now the latest list is Audit Rating and Research Limited, Cure, CRISIL, India Rating and Research Private Limited, and ICRA and Informatics. Sumera and Brickwork were earlier, that is not available in this time. So this circular you can have with you. Next comes, again it is for the big branches. Did the bank provide loans to the companies to buy back of share and securities? As per RBI guidelines, the amount given by the bank cannot finance for buyback of the shares, first of all. Now the question comes, when the bank cannot finance, what is the use of writing this clause is here? Ultimately, there is no other option. First of all, it will be applicable to the big branches only or big borrowers. We should ask in the writing from the bank, please provide the list of the companies where buyback has taken place during the year. Certainly, if the borrower is there and buyback has been done, that list will be available. And from that, we should see from where they got the money of the buyback. whether the bank has given the finance, that money has been diversified over there. So we should review it and do that. Please mute them.
Actually, sir, you have the host permission, so I think I am unable to unmute that person. Sanjeev ji, please mute yourself.
Next comes review and monitoring. The procedure laid down by the authorities had been adhered to not. This is the what are the adverse comments we find during the audit. We should report it. So this we are reporting earlier also. We should avoid from reporting in contradiction, because due to here we are giving the list of the cases which are due for renewal for more than 180 days. But potential norm says if the account is overdue for renewal more than 180 days, it is NPA. So what we are reporting here should see whether MOC is required for that or not. Same way, stock statement and DP. Stock statement and
Sir, can I take the host
you take it.
permission?
Take it.
Yeah. For 1 minute, sir.
Please.
मोटरसाइकिल ना छाड़
It is done.
Yes, sir. I'm just doing it. Mute everybody.
होस्ट बनाना पड़ेगा ना।
हाँ, वो मैंने अपने को होस्ट बना लिया, उसके बाद मैंने सबको म्यूट कर दिया. Now I am disallowing the participants to unmute themselves. Now I am again making sir the host. Just make host. Yes, sir. You can go ahead now. Sir. Thank you.
Okay. So it's same in the stock statement. Here the clause has been asked, give the list of the cases your stock statement, the book debt statement not received. But my potential norm says, if the DP is allowed on the basis of the stock statement more than 90 days, then it will be deemed irregular. If this irregularity continued for 3 months, the account will be NPA. So ultimately, if more than 6 months stock statement continuously DP is allowed, account will be classified NPA. So be careful while reporting in LFAR. Then in so many cases, no stock statement received during the year. But be careful, simultaneously we have to classify the account as NPA. DP has been correctly calculated or not. See the stock statements. Now even in the book debts, in the case of the companies, now auditors are giving the data of the aging also. Disputed or undisputed book debts. More than 180 days. Now in the monthly statement, they are giving different data. In the ROC balance sheet, they have given different data. Why there's a major deviation? So that we should take care of it. Now this is a support to us. So that is what we have to take care of. DP has been correctly calculated. Now this is a specific detail being asked in this statement. So this is what I told you in the larger advances or the bigger advances, there is a specific detail we have to clarify in this. Whether the latest audited financial statement are obtained, this we were reporting earlier also. Now here comes the stock audit. First 3 clauses were there earlier also. Whether stock audit is obtained or not. First, we should ask from the bank to provide their policy above which the stock audit has to be done monthly, quarterly or annually, whatever it is the bank guidelines, whether stock audit report is obtained or not. But one important aspect it is mentioned in this long form audit report is that where the stock audit was conducted, but no action was taken on adverse features. That auditor can comment only when the auditor will itself read the stock statement report. Then only we will be able to comment what are the adverse features, what action bank has taken, what reward the borrower has given, whether this adverse comment is affecting my classification as NPA or not. So all these things we should be take care of. For the non-corporate clients, earlier there was a limit, now there is no limit. It is fixed by the bank. We should ask from the bank in writing, in the very first letter, please provide as per the bank guidelines above which amount for the non-corporate clients balance sheet is to be audited, account is to be obtained. If not obtained, we should report it here. Due diligence. So RBI has issued around 4 or 5 circulars, 4 circulars on this. And for these clients, for the big borrowers, due diligence has to be done. And there is a prescribed format to be signed by chartered accountant of the company secretary. Whether in all required cases due diligence has been done, information has been shared in case of the consortium advances, and if there is any adverse comment in that we should make a report. If due diligence is not done, then we should report it here. So there are 4 circulars. They were issued in 2008, December 8, 2008, September 19, February 10, and November 21. And information has to be shared in the multiple banking and the consortium bankers with regard to the renewal. Next, this clause is whether there is a substantial deterioration. In this clause, ultimately you see all the NPA guidelines have been incorporated in this. Whether there is a substantial deterioration in value of security during the financial year as per the latest valuation report in comparison with the earlier valuation record held. If you see the NPA guidelines, prudential norms, what it states about this? If we are reporting any adverse comment here, see whether respective MOC has been given or not. As per prudential norms, erosion in value of security can be reckoned as a significant when the realizable value of security is less than 50% of the value assessed or accepted by RBI at the time of last inspection. It has to be classified as doubtful straightforward. Number 1. If less than 10% of the outstanding balance, then loss assets. And third is where there is a fraud, then 100% provisions. These are the RBI guidelines. These are the 3 clauses as per IRAC norm circular. Now all these things have been asked by the Reserve Bank of India. We should comment it here only, here also. Here one thing is clear. Here they have not mentioned 10%, they have not mentioned 50%. Here they have mentioned substantial deterioration. It can be 10, it can be 20, it can be 30, anything. So while we are commenting in this clause, we should see whether any further provision is required that we should make a comment on. Next, red flag accounts. Whether branch has any red flag. First, again, we should ask in writing from the bank, please provide the list of the red flag accounts in the branch. And keep ready the red flag policy of the bank. Under which circumstances the account will be classified as red flag by the bank. When we are doing the complete audit, if we come to know, as per the bank policy, there are red flag signals, but bank has not declared is a red flag. Then we should comment it here. And we should see if account is to be classified NPA also or not. As per the bank policy, red flag policy. Because RBI has issued one circular in this regard. July 1, 2006 is the fraud circular. Here, it at the clause 8.3.4, there are 42 early warning signals have been mentioned in that. And Reserve Bank of India has said all the banks to make their policy on the basis of this circular. You see this, all are important. If you go through these 42 items, then I think all adverse comments in the loan advances can be updated. Default in undisputed payment in statutory audits, bouncing of high value checks, frequent charge change in the scope, foreign bills remaining outstanding, delay observing the payment of outstanding. So these are the 42 items which is mentioned in this circular. You see substantial related party transaction, material discrepancies annual report, significant inconsistencies with annual report, poor disclosure of material. There are so many cases. So on the basis of that, bank has to make its red flag policy, ask for that and see whether any account which has not been declared red flag account but has to be declared, we should mention it here and make a provision or NPA, whatever we feel on the basis of that. So these are the details Reserve Bank has asked. So far, I am not going to the NPA because even then the NPA guidelines have been taken the review and monitoring supervision. Comment on adverse features in the large 5 standard accounts. Large accounts we are already verifying. Ultimately, this will be covered in that. If they are standard account, if any observation we find, because as per RBI guidelines, large accounts we have to verify 100% and we have to comment it, adverse comment over here. Now you see this. This is a very important point. Has the branch identified that Chopra sir has also discussed? This is the item which cannot be done by the system. This one and restructuring. Has the branch identified and classified branches into standard, substandard, doubtful, loss assets through computer system without manual intervention? Now there is a separate clause has been added with regard to the IRAC norms. The one by one I am going to discuss. Now how I will come to know as auditor, the branch has done the manual intervention, while classification has been done or not. It is next to impossible for me as auditor to find it out. Now one option is left with me. We must ask in the very first day from the bank, because RBI has issued a circular in September 14, 2020. As per that circular, bank has to do all the classification only through systems. If any change has been done manually in that classification, that audit log has to be kept by the bank available for auditors for minimum for 3 years. So now this information should be available in the bank. We should ask from the bank very first day, please provide the audit log with regard to manual intervention in classification of the account as substandard, substandard, doubtful, or the losses. If bank does not provide that, then we should qualify in this column that audit logs as required by the RBI circular number this and this were asked for, same has not been made available. Hence, we are unable to comment whether any modification manually has been done or not. Because when we go for the branch audit, when we ask them to provide this report, this detail, they will simply reply us, sir, we don't know. We are getting the report of classification of NPA from the corporate office or centralized computerized division. So that will be their standard reply. But as auditor, we have to say over skin and we should report it. We should ask for the detail. Again, I am requesting you, we must know what details we need for this long form audit report or for this bank audit. Next. Now this has come. Last year, this amendment has come. Whether the branch is following the system of classifying the account SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, including SMA 0, substandard, or all these things. Last year, one circular was issued by Reserve Bank of India. There is a major change has been done, major change. What was this major change? The NPA classification has to be done on continuous basis. What does it mean? Continuous basis. Earlier, what we used to do? We take as on 31st of March, in case of the term loan, 90 days overdue account classified as NPA at the year end. And in most of the cases, date of NPA is either 31st December or the 1st January. Same way in case of the cash credit accounts, but not. RBI what has said in this circular, 21, they have November 21, they have issued the circular. This classification has to be done on continuous basis. What is a continuous basis mean? Every day at the end of the day. Every day at the end of the day, bank has to generate a report. Then what is the overdue status? Whether it is it means bank has to provide that report. What is SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, or NPA? Every day bank has to generate that. but we must ask these reports from the banks. If we'll not ask, then we cannot comment on that. Now I am showing you the gist of that circular on your screen. Here, what was this important guidelines were this? Not covered or covering all because hiring norm section is there. It will covered in that. In order to remove any ambiguity, it is clarified that intervals are intended to be continuous and according the basis of classification of SMA. Moreover, account is set to due by the lending institution as a part of the debt process for the due dates irrespective of time. आप रिपोर्ट 31 मार्च को निकालो, पर मेरे को ये बताओ 15 दिसंबर को कितने ओवर ड्यू थे। अब जितनी भी ड्यू डेट्स होंगी, चाहे वो इंटरेस्ट की हो, चाहे प्रिंसिपल की हो, उस ड्यू डेट की एंड में डे में रिपोर्ट जनरेट होगी एंड देन वी विल फाइंड कि अकाउंट इज ओवरड्यू मोर देन 90 डेज। और 90 डेज कैलकुलेट करने के लिए जो लास्ट 90th डे है वो भी इंक्लूड होगा, नॉट 90 + 1 is 90 days at the end of the day. Up what RBI said in the circular, suppose this bank as per the bank's system or computerization, as per this circular, account is classified as NPA on December 14. So it will become NPA. And it can be upgraded only when all the irregularities and all accounts have been regularized from the general. So NPA classification is not daily process, not March end, not quarter end, not month end. It is every. Now we have to see whether that process is in place or not. We should ask some of the sample data reports from the bank and then comment on that. Same way, in case of CCOD, they have done in the same manner. COD, 90 days concept. Every day system will see whether account is continuously overdue for 90 days. 90 days is also included. Every day system will give. And then we should see the report and system will automatically classify the account as NPA. If credits are not sufficient to cover the interest debited during that period, it will be again the continuous process, not the year-end process. So once the account is classified as NPA, it will remain NPA. It can be upgraded only when all the irregularities have been regularized in the NPA account. This is the continuous issue. Now we must ask this information, and only we should give a information we have verified. A bank is not providing that detail, then we should comment in the long form audit. One more important thing, list of the account of the 10 crore which have been downgraded and upgraded. Now downgraded and upgraded, we should be very fair with this. Downgraded, okay, bank has honestly done it, we have found it. But wherever the account has been upgraded, we should see whether the IRAC norm guidelines have been adhered to or not for upgradation. Account can be upgraded if all the irregularities have been regularized in all the accounts. Nothing is overdue on a particular date when it is upgraded. And upgradation guideline with regard to the restructuring of the account, it is again the complicated issue. I will discuss this later on. So we should be very careful about this. Now, this has come restructured account. Now this year, there is no restructuring of the COVID, no special restructuring for this. Only two restructuring left as of now. One is for the agriculture, natural calamities, and other is IRAC norm circular, April 1, 2022, which has incorporated the last year circular issued with this. That I will discuss in brief. It is the because why I am discussing this restructuring point in detail here, because in long form audit report it has been asked whether the branch has reported the account restructured or rephased during the year to controlling authority, whether the guidelines have been adhered to, whether the branch complies with all the regulatory stresses with regard to the stress assets and the restructuring. These confirmation we have to give in long form audit report. If we are giving okay, it means we have given a clean chit to the branch. But I am telling you how complicated is restructuring. Now, there is a part B1 and B2. B1 is a stress assess, which is a compliance with regard to that, but main is a B2, which is applicable to all small and medium branches to us. Now you see, What is the restructuring? Restructuring is an act which the lender economical, legal, borrower financial difficulty, grant concession. If borrower is in a financial difficulty and concession is granted, then it is restructuring. Some example has been given in the circular. If you read, you will find it. Part B2 of IRAC norm circular dated April 1, 2022. So there are some example is given. RBI has tried to make it a simple, but it seems to be complicated. There are some examples of given financial difficulty. Now, what is basically asset classification? Once the account is restructured, except project under implementation, that is a separate guidelines. If account is restructured, account which is a standard, it will become NPA. It will be classified substandard immediately for all the accounts. Any account if it is restructured, definition is given. You should read it, which account comes under that. If it is bank has not classified restructured, then we have to classify it as a restructured and classify it as a substandard. If it is standard, then substandard. And if it is already NPA, then it will continue to be the NPA till the upgradation. Ultimately, any account which is restructured has to be classified NPA. This is first. Now, important point comes where upgradation of the restructured accounts. Now you see that. They have classified this loan portfolio in two parts for upgradation. One is MSME account, where exposure of the lender is less than 25 crores, and others. MSME less than 25. It means the MSME above 25 and above, and other loans, non-MSME. There are separate set of rules for upgradation of them. For MSME, what is this? Read it carefully. If it demonstrate MSME below 25 crore can be upgraded only if demonstrate satisfactory performance during the specified period. It has to show satisfactory performance in a specified period. What is specified period? That is defined. And what is satisfactory performance? That is also defined. Specified period means the period of 1 year from the commencement of the installment or interest, whichever is later, of the account having the maximum moratorium period. Suppose one borrower has taken 4 term loan accounts. All are restructured. We have to find out where maximum moratorium period is given. Pick up that loan account, and from that loan account, we should see the repayment schedule. But repayment schedule, as per, see what is the due date of the first principal payment and what is the due date for the first interest payment, whichever is later, and 1 year after that. So that can be upgraded only after that. Till that, it will remain in the NPA category. It has shown satisfactory performance during the specified period. Now, what is the satisfactory performance? It is a very tough language. Means no payment, interest or principal remains overdue for a period more than 30 days. पहले तो specific period निकालो और उसके अंदर देखो अगर वो टर्म लोन का 30 दिन से ऊपर ना तो प्रिंसिपल ओवरड्यू हुआ हो और ना इंटरेस्ट ओवरड्यू हुआ हो, तभी satisfactory performance कहलाएगा, तभी अपग्रेड हो सकता है. Otherwise, it cannot be done. In case of the CCOD, at no point of time, the limit at the balance exceeded the limit or DP, whichever is lower, for a period more than 30 days. अब देखिए कितनी टफ लैंग्वेज है ये. तो ये अपग्रेडेशन की गाइडलाइन है. RBI is asking in non-form audit report to say all upgradation guidelines as per RBI has been adhered to by the branch. So whatever be the account which has been upgraded during the year, please see carefully. What has been restructured or not restructured, but we feel it is to be restructured, that has to be reported. This is for MSME. But what is about others? 5 crore and above and others. Here the meaning of satisfactory performance and specified period is different what is in MSME. Here what is the satisfactory performance? Satisfactory performance means the borrower entity is not in default at any point of time. MSME में 25 करोड़ से नीचे तक 30 दिन तो दे दिए, यहाँ पे तो एक दिन भी नहीं है. At any point of time, एक दिन भी overdue हो गया, so it cannot be upgraded. It has to show satisfactory performance. उसमें भी 2 पीरियड डिफाइन कर दिए. One is monitoring period, another is specified period. Monitoring period क्या डिफाइन किया कि जिस दिन रेजोल्यूशन प्लान इंप्लीमेंट हुआ उस डेट से लेकर के जब तक 10% की पेमेंट नहीं हो गई आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट की उस डेट की, दैट इज द मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड. और स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड क्या किया, जिस दिन रेजोल्यूशन प्लान इंप्लीमेंट हुआ वहां से 20% की पेमेंट हो गई या नहीं हो गई, सो उसको उन्होंने डिफाइन कर दिया. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू टेक केयर. सो ये सर्कुलर है. अभी आपके आयरन नाम के सेशन होंगे, वहां मेरे ख्याल डिटेल में डिस्कस हो जाएंगे. In brief, I have given to you. Otherwise, it is a very long. If I will continue it, it will take another half an hour to discuss this aspect only. So, we should. My only humble request to all the members to please be careful with regard to the restructuring, upgradation of reporting in the long form audit report. Next comes whether the upgradation, again, which I have told you. If auditor disagree with the upgradation, give MOC for that. Then IBC code, again it will be applicable to the big branches. See what are the guidelines with regard to the IBC mandate in the bank. Ask for the list of the IBC mandate given by the bank but not filed, number one. Number two, ask from the bank if in any of the case, any other creditor or the lender has filed IBC, please take the list and attached with the long form audit report, and if any further provision is required, please recommend it. Now this comes ECGC. It is not the matter of ECGC only. CGTMS or the government sponsor scheme, all these cases. One more important clause has been asked for, whether the rejection is appropriately considered while determining the provisioning requirement. What is the method of calculation of the provisional in case of the doubtful account? First, we reduce the value of security. Balance, we take the percentage of secured by ECGC or CGTMS or whatsoever it is. And balance, we take to the unsecured and make 100% for the unsecured portion. But we have to see wherever the claim has been filed, what is the due date, by which date it has been claim has been received. What is the correspondence file? We should see whether the claim has been rejected. If claim has been rejected, then over and above the secured value, leftover is unsecured and we have to make 100% provision. That is why RBI has asked this time in a long form audit report specifically mentioned this, and we should report it there. And next, one more thing is here. There is one circular has been issued by Reserve Bank of India with regard to the weightage. See, in case of the CGTMS cases, earlier there was a 75% coverage is there, but here up to 5 lakh rupees, it has been increased 75 to 85%. Subject to certain condition is there. There is a circular issued by Reserve Bank of India in this regard. So while reporting in this clause, we should ensure we should have seen all the cases where the claim has been verified, whether rejected or not. Decree cases, where the suit file cases are there, cases have been decreed, whether decree has been executed or not. We should ask from the branch in the writing write the list of the decreed cases. And there is a problem in that I am telling you. Sometimes what happens, there is a credit portfolio centralized with RPCs and all these things. Please ask from the branch. Please arrange this data from RPCs and CPCs. We must ask. If we are not getting, we should verify. Long form audit report, details were asked for, same were not provided. Next comes, when we go to CPCs and all places, when we do the documentation on the test check basis, if you are not getting documents, please report. RBI has asked in LFAR, we should report whether they have provided you all what you need. If not, we should make it report. This is non-fund based. This is a very important clause. Earlier, the clause was we should provide the list of the borrowers with details of LCs devolved or guarantee invoked at the year end and outstanding at the year end. But now what they are asking, List of the borrowers with the details of LCs devolved or guarantees invoked during the year. How I will come to know? Ultimately, I need the audit trail or the dump from the bank. Please ask in the very first day the letter. Bank should provide the complete list of all the LCs devolved or BG invoked during the year, and then edit that list in the long form audit report. And we feel if they have parked that amount in the separate account, because as per IRAC norms, if bank is following the policy of the debiting the BG invoked or LC devolved amount in the separate account, it should be treated as a part of the principal operating account. If we are giving that detail over here, then we should ensure that we have given MOC for that also. Next comes list of instances where the interchangeability between fund-based and a non-fund has been done. Normally, it is not allowed. If it is done in my branch, I should report it. For example, I have given my branch has given the non-fund based limit of the 2 crore rupees. Fund-based 1 crore. Fund-based is fully utilized. Now LC devolved. Out of 2 crore, 1 crore LC is devolved. So what the bank will do? They will reduce the non-fund based limit from 2 crore to 1 and compensate that, increase the fund base from 1 crore to 2 crore to accommodate the devolved amount of the LCs. That is not permissible. If it is done, then report it in the long form audit. Next is expense center surgery. There is no change in this. FCNRB. Again, this is audit trail matter. As per RBI guidelines, an account and the deposit account can be stated as an NRE if only the account holder is having the NRE status, subject to certain condition. And for NRE status, bank should have the evidence of that. Now, same way, NRE is a rupee denominated, FCNRB is a foreign currency denominated. That is the only difference. RBI asked from the branch auditor report, where FCNRB FDR is renewed, auditor should see the bank has obtained the evidence from the account holder that he is having still NRE status. Now, this is basically the job of the concurrent auditor. Let me put it in that way. But RBI has asked us, we have to do. We cannot say we have not done it. But we can do it only when bank will provide the dump. Ask the bank, add one line in your first day letter. Please provide the list of all the FCNRB deposit which have been renewed during the year and keep private the evidence obtained from the depositor. They will provide us the list. We'll pick up sample out of that and then we'll verify, and then we'll comment. We have verified 10 case, 20 case, 25 case, 30 case, whatever it is, and our comments. Same way next, whether the branch is complying the regulations on minimum balance requirement and levy of charge on non-maintenance of minimum balance in individual saving accounts. This is applicable only to the saving accounts. What has been done in this basically? Again, this is a job of the concurrent auditor, but RBI has asked us, we have to comment it here. There's no other option, because as per the RBI issued in November 20, 2014 circular, what it says, bank can charge the minimum balance charges. First, bank has to give 30 days notice to the customer that you have not maintained the minimum balance. Even within 30 days, if balance is not maintained, bank can debit the charges. But how much? Suppose bank has made a system, if 10,000 balance not maintained, 1,000 will be charged. I have maintained 5,000 rupees. So bank cannot charge 1,000. Proportionate amount of the balance not maintained means 50%, 500 we can charge. So these are the guidelines for this. Now again, to comply with this guideline, I should ask from the bank, provide me the list of the account as on 31st of March, where the minimum balance is not maintained, and pick up the sample and see where they have debited the charges. Ask the bank to see whether 30 days notice has been given or not. If 30 days notice has not been given, how the bank can charge the charges? So this is what we have to report it here. Next, this is general gold and bullion. These two clauses are there. Basically, these are applicable. Actually, when this new format was recommended by Institute, I was the member of that group also. So at that time, the banks were selling the gold bars. But this item is continuing. Still, it is applicable in some of the south branches or the branches which were earlier selling the gold bars, and their branches are having some stock lying with them. The new selling is not been done, new purchasing is not been done, but some branches I know are still holding the old stock, and these are applicable to that, and make it a comment on that. Next comes where there is any software system used at the branch which is not integrated with the CBS. Now you see how, as auditor, I will come to know how many software branch is having, whether they are integrated with the CBS or not. There is only few ways I can verify. See the concurrent audit report, see their computer audit reports, and third, we should ask in writing, provide the list of all the software being used by the bank or sorry, branch, and whether they are integrated or not. Then see if they are integrated. Okay, not, we should give the comment. If they are not giving any reply, then there is no option except to qualify. We have not received any detail in this regard. Next comes exception reports. Earlier there was an item, because as per Reserve Bank of India, the instructions are that every bank has to generate the exception reports on day-to-day basis. What is the exception report basically? Because now the risk-based audit concept is applicable in the banks. Every bank has to do the risk-based audit, and after their risk-based audit, they decide which are the high-risk areas, which need more consideration. So it may differ from the bank to bank. Say, draft issued in cash deposited in an NRE account, or the crediting the NRE accounts, overdrafts exceeding the DP. So this is 2 or 3 examples. There may be 10 or 20, whatever it is, bank to bank it may differ. So every bank has to generate these report, manual debit to income. So bank has to generate these reports on daily basis and verify and evidence it as per this LFR new format. And if there is any issue, observations come during their verification or their review, they should keep the record of that issues. And if resolved, they should write resolved. If pending, they should keep it pending. Now what, as auditor, I have to see? Number one, whether reports are being generated. If generated, whether these are being verified or not. I should take some sample dates, ask for the bank to provide the records, see their reports and be generated on day-to-day basis. Evidencing of verification is there, that I can do. Third, now the question is whether there are any major observation pending on such compliance at the year end. Now I should ask in the bank in writing to keep ready all the issues pending for compliance out of the verification of the section report by the bank. My experience is that banks have not provided me this data, but I should ask for, and then I should write these details were asked for, same are not available. Next comes manual intervention. There are 2 types of manual intervention in the banks. One manual intervention which we have discussed earlier for NPA classification, that we have discussed in detail. Another manual intervention is also there. This is for NPA classification. In the system also entries are being passed. Bank says my income is being accounted for on day-to-day basis by the system only. Suppose in the loan case, rate of interest is feeded at the rate of 10% instead of 11%. Now bank want to recover this 1% interest. What the bank will do? They will calculate 1% interest and will give debit to the party and credit to the income. This is not system generated entry. This is manual debit to income. Same way manual debit to interest. In FD, open, but there is an option in a finacle where it has been wrongly updated, no interest to be paid. Rate of interest is feeded, but no interest to be paid. The system will mature the FD and no interest will be paid. Customer will come, will ask the bank, please pay my interest. The bank will pass the manual entry, debit to interest, credit to customer, credit to TDS. This is called manual debit to interest. So these are some of the examples which I have. So we must ask the bank, because in this LFF format, it is clearly mentioned whether the bank has laid down procedure of manual integration to the system generated data and proper authentication. We have to ask for this audit trail, number one. Number two, we should see authorization is there, because amount involvement lost to the bank is higher. The approval has to be taken from the more higher authorities. Sometimes it can go up to the board also. Please look into that. Proper authentication is there, approval is there or not. Along with proper audit trail, again, which I am telling you. I am not telling, RBI is telling, bank has to maintain the audit trail for that. Please ask these audit trails. Details are not available, then we have to comment it accordingly. But we must ask. That is my request to all of you in my first day letter. Next comes, furnish your comments on data integrity. Checking correctness, integrity of data. No backend set is used for MIS attention. How I will come to know which data of the branch is being used by the corporate office of which MIS is absolutely not possible for you. And I cannot give the clean sheet to the branch that I have verified. There is no issue is observed. There are many ways the bank is doing that, which 2 or 3 I can tell. And please make your reply keeping the bounding to that extent what verification I have done, not all. Banks, as per Mitra committee recommendation, bank has to generate the high value transaction reports on day-to-day basis. And bank should re-verify this data and approve and sign it. If there are any error find, they should rectify it. Please ask the Mitra committee recommendation reports generated and verified by the bank. Number 2, concurrent audit report. और during the audit, हमने पूरा audit कर लिया और हमें लगा कोई डाटा इंटीग्रेशन में हमारे को इशू आया या कुछ चीजें हमें गलत मिली या इंटरेस्ट के रेट्स गलत मिले, तो we can make a part of that. But my request is in this clause, we should not give blank check to the bank. We should say we have restricted our checking to these reports or to these areas. On the basis of that, our comment is being formed over here. This is what we should do. Next comes inter-branch accounts. There are some senior members might be online. If they remember earlier, when we go for the bank's inter-branch accounts, banks say no details available. Or some central auditors must be online. They must be knowing in the old days when we go to the head office for the central audit for inter-branch reconciliation, there are dumps lying in the rooms, and auditor used to qualify the main balance sheet of the bank. Interbank accounts are subject to reconciliation, and any impact on account of this reconciliation is unascertainable. But now that time has gone. Every bank inter-branch is being reconciled on day-to-day basis, and this clause is applicable to each and every branch, even the newly opened branch. I'm telling you. So it is applicable to all the auditors, either category 3, category 4, or whatsoever it is. What is that report? Name may differ in the bank to bank. So every day on the desk of the branch manager, there is a report sent by their computer department, the list of the entries raised by other branches on your branch, but not responded or reversed by my branch. Please ask that report dated 1st of April. In that report, I have found some example I can share with you. My branch has sent 2 crore rupees to currency chest branch. My branch has credited cash and debited to currency chest branch. Currency chest branch has received the cash. They have debited cash and credited to my branch through inter-branch, and entries knocked off, all reconciled. But currency chest branch has counted that cash on the next day. In cash counting, there was a shortfall of 20,000 rupees. So currency chest staff will not pay this 20,000 rupees from its own pocket. What they will do? They will raise a debit on my branch through inter-branch. If I see the inter-branch reconciliation report dated 1st of April, that 20,000 entry will be outstanding not responded by my branch. What my branch should do, ideally, either debit to profit and loss account head and give credit to consignors. That bank will not permit. To customer, they should identify which customer has paid the short amount and credit to consignors, or debit to staff and then credit to consignors, or book as a loss and debit to suspense and credit to. So these type of entries, it is one of the example. Some other entries may be there due to any reason, maybe the debit or credit to the loan accounts also. So please ask this report. If there is a nil, they will show nil report. So please ask this report. If we are giving any comment here, if you find any adverse feature, whether MOC is to give on for that, please comment. Thoughts. This all information we have to take from the branch, but in writing. Again, fraud detected, classified, but confirmation of reported to RBI not available. We should ask the list from the bank. We should ask the confirmation, give over comment. Suspected or likely fraud reported by the branch. What is the present status? We should ask in writing and report it. If there are any weakness in the system we find, then we report it. But one more thing, we should take care of it. In case of the frauds, there is a guideline 100% provision is to be made. We should see what is the nature of the fraud. Whether there is a loss, who is making the loss provision, branch or the fraud cell or the corporate office or anybody else. We must know about this. Number 2, the branches where loans and advances documents are centralized are being handled by CPCs and RPCC. When we go to the branch, we ask this certificate. Branch manager will give easily a certificate to us, stating that language will be that in my branch, no fraud has been reported during the financial year ending March 23. Matter is over. But we must ask a certificate with regard to the loans and advances also, for which I am giving the certificates or which are being verified by me. Whether any fraud has been reported by RPC or CPC with regard to the loans and advances also or not. Please arrange that certificate from CPC or RPC. If they are not providing that, please say it. Branch has given the certificate relating to the branch transaction, but with regard to the loans, no certificate has been received, as it is not possible to comment on that. Because if a fraud has taken place in the loans, as auditor, I don't know. So I will be able to say what provision is to be required, because as per IRAC norm, in case of the fraud, irrespective of the value of security, 100% provision is to be made. So this is what we should take care of while reporting in this clause. So another thing, red flag, it is a repetition which we have earlier discussed. KYC and AML. This is again a concern. With regard to KYC, basically that we can verify, because we should pick up some samples with regard to the savings, some current account sample basis. We should see on the bank guideline whether proper KYC document has been taken, evidence verified is the bank guidelines, give the information, but we should write how many cases we have verified and comment on that. But AML is a very wide term. AML can happen anywhere, either RTGS or the NEFT or the transfer entries, whatever it is. So ultimately, because RBI, one guidelines or RBI says bank should ensure that the nature of transaction commensurate with the nature of the business. I can suggest you some 10 or 11 cases with regard to the AML. But while commenting in this clause, we should say what verification we have done. We should evidence the checking pattern, what I have adopted in commenting in this clause. I should not give clean sheet to the branch. No ML has taken place during the year, not at all. For example, abnormal receipts and payments. For example, this is a wine shop. Every day cash is being deposited. That account, that is possible. Petrol pump, cash is being deposited, fine enough. That is not the problem. It commensurate with the nature of the business. Transporter, daily cash withdrawal you will find, because they have to make the payment to the drivers. So, but if an account which is selling a product and wholesale business is being done, everyday cash is being deposited, then the issue comes to this. and where as per RBI guideline 10 lakhs and above, whether the proper confirmation has been taken, what is the source and the payment for what they need the cash, it's been taken or not. Frequent cash deposit, frequent cash withdrawal, money has come from abroad and being withdrawn immediately, cash is being deposited and being transferred outside India immediately, cash deposit 50,000 and exceeding 50,000 without PAN. So all these are some of the examples. So at least we must restrict our checking to some extent and give the criteria on what basis we have given comment on this report. And one more thing, what the Reserve Bank in this case has asked, please report all the adverse comments issued in the concurrent audit report. Again, where the loans and advances portfolio is being handled by RPC CPC, their concurrent audit is being done at the CPC and RPC. Please ask what are the major adverse comments pending at their end. If they are not providing, then we should report it and give the suitable qualification. So I think I might be having one letter with me. So these are issues with regard to the major issues with regard to the long form report. Naveen Singhal, anything we have to discuss? Or you want me to cover restructuring in detail? I can do that. We have time. Tell me.
Sir, I think
Sir, we should do
we have-
restructuring, sir. That is better.
yes, sir. We should cover that also.
We should cover.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
that is better, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is very important.
Let me take in detail the restructuring. I will go little bit slow because it is because when I made my presentation last year, it seems complicated to me. But when I will go through 2 or 3 times, then certainly we will be able to understand.
And
Because
sir,
this is a very important aspect and it is applicable to all the loans and advances branches. And one more circular which I am telling to the members, take care of this year. There is an interest subvention on the agriculture loan. Bank benefit has been reduced from 2 to 1.5%. That one must, because there is a 3% benefit to the farmer and 2% to the bank. Now this year, bank benefit has been reduced to 2 to 1.5%. Now let me take you.
sir, I'm
Sir, will you share, sir? Excuse me, sir.
yes, sir.
Will you
PPT,
share
sir.
the
Actually,
presentation
20-30
for the
people have all.
participants?
हाँ जी बोलिए
सर आप पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए सर वो शेयर कर देंगे ना?
सर मैंने आपने पूरी रिकॉर्डिंग किया हुआ है ना
हाँ सर.
ये रिकॉर्डिंग आप शेयर कर दीजिए ना
Recording is already
नहीं,
live on
नहीं,
YouTube.
नवीन जी listen,
presentation अच्छा हो
नवीन
जाएगा
जी,
सर अगर आप
Naveen ji, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
In this presentation, you have seen I have hyperlinked lot of things that can never come. Rather
Yes.
in recording, hyperlink which I have opened, that will come to you members. Because it is a complete bunch of not one file or a 400 files, this presentation.
Yes,
So that
sir.
will never come out of that.
Yes, sir.
So
Actually,
हाँ,
20-30 people were asking for the PPT, so I will.
The recording
clearly
is
tell them,
there.
Yes, yes.
I
yes,
have gone
it is
very
available on YouTube.
slowly. If you want each and every slide, I can reopen it and go very slowly so that it will come in the recording and a member can see that.
Okay, sir.
चलिए, let me go to the restructuring.
आपको सर फिर से होस्ट कर दे रहे हैं सर. ओके.
हाँ, host कर लीजिए. हो गया सर? चलिए. देखिए, restructuring की definition, basically what is that? First of all, there is a possibility when we go to the bank, any benefit given, any concession given to any borrower who is in financial difficulty. The word is financial difficulty. That is restructuring. Suppose one borrower is very good. They're having 2 crore of CC limits. Bank is giving 8% interest. And there is no problem in that account. The reports are very good for that. That borrower is coming to the branch. Sir, another bank is given me 7% interest. I will retain my portfolio with you only if you give me the rate of interest. Is it restructuring? No. Because borrower is not in financial difficulty. There is an evidence other bank is given. He is coming and give a paper. So this bank is given a 7. You give, then I will retain. Bank reduce half % rate of interest and retain the customer. It is due to the competitive reason. It is not financial. But if borrower is in a financial difficulty, any concession given in the terms of advances, securities, generally include others. What type of concession? You see that the circular says alteration of payment period. Say it is 10 years, increase to 15 years. It is a concession. Payable amount of installment, rate of interest, rollover of credit facilities, sanction of additionally credit facilities, additional funds, defaults. So these are some examples here. Compromise settlements, where time of payment of settlement exceeds 3 months. So these are some of the examples they have given. It can be anything. A non-exhaustive indicator, financial difficulty. They have given some examples. It is non-exhaustive, it's not exhaustive. Some examples they have given. So we must reach these 2 definitions, very important. After that, we will be able to come to know what is restructuring. Now, first of all, once the account, first of all, we should see if I find the account is restructured, but bank is not classified as restructured. So what if we say it is restructured, then we have to give MOC, because once it is restructured, account has to be classified as NP. So now guidance is once the account is restructured, standard will become substandard, and if account is NPA, it will continue in the same classification or deteriorate as per the aging analysis as per my IRAC norm circular. So this is the clear-cut kind. There is no problem to that extent. Problem comes once the account is classified NPA or restructured, upgradation, that is the issue. For upgradation, there are 2 guidelines. One is MSME less than 25 crores. Then second, 25 crores and above MSME and others. Their upgradation. So what are the guidelines for this one? It demonstrates satisfactory performance during the specified period. So for MSME below 25 crore rupees, they have classified this criteria. Specified period, I have already explained in detail. Satisfactory performance means no default should be more than 30 days in term loan as well as in CCOD. अब आप देखिए कितनी टफ लैंग्वेज है. अगर एक बोरोवर का स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड फॉर एग्जांपल 2 years बनता है, तो ड्यूरिंग दिस 2 years टर्म लोन की कोई भी इंस्टॉलमेंट या प्रिंसिपल, it should not remain overdue more than 30 days at any point of time. How tough language is this? If it is there, it cannot be upgraded. Say when CCOD, outstanding balance should not be more than the sanction limit of the DP, more than 30 days during the period, specified period. It's a tough language. So this is for MSME below 25 crore. So my humble request to the members, when we are comparing the list of NPAs last year and this year, whichever account has been upgraded, we must see under which guideline it is upgraded, whether it was restructured or non-restructured. So according to that, we should move further and comment that it is correctly upgraded or not. Now, what is about others? There are 3 important definitions. Now we should forget this one, satisfactory performance or specified period for MSME, because for others, the meaning is different. Here, what is satisfactory performance? Satisfactory performance means borrower entity is not in default at any point of time during the period concerned. MSME में क्या था default की definition? more than 30 days. वहां 30 दिन का क्वेश्चन दे दिया, यहां पर तो है ही नहीं। और पीरियड कंसर्न भी, वहां तो स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड का मतलब कुछ और था, यहां कुछ और है। ये तो हो गया सेटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस, स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड। यहाँ पे दो पीरियड डिफाइन किए, फर्स्ट इज मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड and second is specified period. What is monitoring period? Suppose account is restructured, resolution plan has been implemented on a particular date. From that date till the 10% of the total amount is repaid by the borrower. Suppose at the time of resolution plan which is implemented, total amount is to be due from the borrower is say 10 crore. 10 crore, 10%, 1 crore. जिस दिन borrower 1 crore पे कर देगा रेजोल्यूशन प्लान के बाद, दैट पीरियड विल बी कंसीडर्ड एज अ मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड। हो सकता है वो 6 महीने में दे दे तो 6 महीने का मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड हो गया, 1 साल में देगा तो 1 साल का हो गया, और 1.5 साल का होगा तो 1.5 साल का हो गया। सो दिस इज दैट। और व्हाट इज स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड? जिस दिन रेजोल्यूशन प्लान इंप्लीमेंट हुआ उसकी टोटल अमाउंट का 20%। जिस दिन वो 20% पे हो जाएगा तब तक वो स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड कहलाएगा। यहाँ तो 3 डेफिनेशन हो गए। अब ये 3 डेफिनेशन वर्क कैसे कर रही है देखिए। सबसे पहले कंडीशन फॉर अपग्रेडेशन पढ़िए। एनपी अकाउंट अदर देन एमएसएमई बिलो 25, इट कैन बी अपग्रेडेड ओनली व्हेन ऑल लोन और फैसिलिटीज डेमोन्स्ट्रेट satisfactory performance during the monitoring period. क्लियर हो गया? Satisfactory performance means it should not be in default during the monitoring period. Monitoring period means जिस दिन रेजोल्यूशन प्लान इंप्लीमेंट हुआ, टोटल अमाउंट का जिस दिन 10% पे कर दिया। अब इसको तो मिस यूज करेगा बरोबर। आज तो रेजोल्यूशन प्लान इंप्लीमेंट हुआ, टुडे दे हैव इंप्लीमेंटेड रेजोल्यूशन प्लान, इमीडिएटली ही विल कम, टोटल 10 करोड़ आउटस्टैंडिंग है, 1 करोड़ रुपए पेमेंट लो, मेरा अकाउंट तो अपग्रेड हो गया 6 महीने में। बट आरबीआई ने उसको यहाँ प्लग कर दिया। क्या प्लग किया? प्रोवाइडेड अकाउंट कैन नॉट बी अपग्रेडेड बिफोर 1 year from the commencement of first payment of interest or principal whichever is later of the credit facility having the longest moratorium period. आप 6 महीने में अपग्रेड नहीं कर सकते 10% पे करके। कम से कम अपग्रेडेशन के लिए कितना वेट करना पड़ेगा? अगर आपने 4 फैसिलिटी ले रखी है, 4 में से जिस फैसिलिटी में मैक्सिमम मोरेटोरियम पीरियड है उसका इंटरेस्ट और पेमेंट विचएवर इज लेटर से 1 साल और वो पीरियड। सो ये तो हो गया मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड। अकाउंट कैन बी अपग्रेडेड इन अ मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड इफ इट हैज शोन सैटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस इन मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड एंड द टाइप कैप दे हैव पुट इट कि इतना टाइम तो मिनिमम लेना ही लेना है मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड। साथ में अब क्या कह दिया? It can be upgraded during the monitoring period, no doubt. But if the total exposure is 100 crores and above, but below 500 crore, एक क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी से रिपोर्ट चाहिए, उसकी रेटिंग चाहिए इन्वेस्टमेंट ग्रेड की, और जिसका 5 करोड़ 500 करोड़ या उससे ऊपर का लोन है उसमें 2 एजेंसी से रेटिंग चाहिए। दोनों की इन्वेस्टमेंट ग्रेड की रेटिंग आ गई और सेटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस होगी, मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड और जो कैप वाला पीरियड का कंडीशन कंप्लाई होगी, अकाउंट विल बी अपग्रेडेड। यहां तक तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अब मैं जिस ब्रांच को ऑडिटर हूं वहां से तो ये अपग्रेड हो गया। अब कई बार हो सकता है कंसोर्टियम लोन हो, ये भी तो पॉसिबिलिटी है, मेरे पास अकाउंट अपग्रेड हो गया, पर साथ में ये कह दिया इफ इट हैज फेल्ड टू शो द सैटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस, मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड के अंदर उसने सैटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस नहीं दिखाई। व्हाट इज दैट? ये सैटिस्फैक्टरी परफॉर्मेंस नहीं है, जो हमारे को इंप्लीमेंटेशन हुआ था वहां डिफॉल्ट हो गया, तो इमीडिएट ऑन डिफॉल्ट अपग्रेडेड शैल बी सब्जेक्ट टू इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ फ्रेश रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग। तो भैया दोबारा रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग कर लो। रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग का सब B2 ये हो गया और B1 स्कीम के अंदर दोबारा रिफ्रेश करो प्लान, और उसको अल्टीमेटली एनपीए तो एनपीए रहेगा, एजिंग के हिसाब से क्लासिफिकेशन चलेगा और वो एनपीए विल रिमेन एनपीए। पर साथ में जो प्रोविजन हमारा चल रहा है, चाहे D1 का चल रहा है चाहे सब स्टैंडर्ड का चल रहा है, उन्होंने कहा अगर उसने डिफॉल्ट कर दिया, अपग्रेडेशन नहीं होता है तो डिफॉल्ट नया प्लान आएगा। नए प्लान के आने के बाद भी रिव्यू पीरियड के 30 दिन के अंदर उसको इंप्लीमेंट करना है। तो 15% का प्रोविजन और एक्स्ट्रा होगा. सो दिस इज दैट. तो मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड में जहां सक्सेसफुल इंप्लीमेंट नहीं हुआ, क्लासिफिकेशन गो ऑन एज इट इज, नई रेजोल्यूशन प्लान आएगा, 15% का एक्स्ट्रा प्रोविजन होगा. सो दिस इज लेंडर शैल अंडरटेक prima facie review of the borrower within 30 days from default. डिफॉल्ट के 30 days. ये तो हो गया मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड अगर डिफॉल्ट हो गया. पर पॉइंट ये है, मैंने अकाउंट अपग्रेड कर दिया, मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड में कोई डिफॉल्ट नहीं हुआ, क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी की रेटिंग भी आ गई जहां नहीं थी, सब कुछ सही हो गया, अकाउंट अपग्रेड हो गया, पर अभी स्पेसिफाइड पीरियड खत्म नहीं हुआ है मेरे पास. मॉनिटरिंग तो हो गया, 20% की पेमेंट नहीं हुई है, और हुआ क्या, मेरे पास तो अकाउंट सही चल रहा है, पर कंसोर्टियम एडवांस है, दूसरे बैंक के पास उसने डिफॉल्ट कर दिया. वो मेरे पास अपग्रेड हो गया, मुझे कोई इश्यू नहीं है, दूसरे बैंक के पास जब वो डिफॉल्ट हो गया तो वो कंसोर्टियम पूरा रेजोल्यूशन प्लान में आ जाएगा. मैं अपने यहां उसको अपग्रेडेड रखूंगा, पर 15% का प्रोविजन एक्स्ट्रा करूंगा क्योंकि दूसरे बैंक के पास डिफॉल्ट आ गया है. सो दीज आर द बेसिक गाइडलाइंस विद रिगार्ड टू द रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग. यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड. साथ में कह दिया, एनी एडिशनल फाइनेंस अप्रूव्ड अंडर रेजोल्यूशन प्लान including any resolution plan approved by district authority under IBC may be treated as standard asset during the monitoring period under approved RP, provided account demonstrates satisfactory performance during the monitoring period. अगर एडिशनल फाइनेंस दिया है, मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड में स्टैंडर्ड रहेगा, पर अगर मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड में नहीं हुआ तो वो उसी कैटेगरी में चला जाएगा, वो अपग्रेड नहीं होगा, उसी कैटेगरी में उसको चला जाएगा. इनकम रिकॉग्निशन जो एनपीए है तो ये कैश बेसिस पे ही होगा, और एडिशनल फाइनेंस अकाउंट वेयर एग्जिस्टिंग फैसिलिटीज एनपीए इट इज ऑन अ कैश बेसिस. तो ये बेसिकली रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग की गाइडलाइंस है. हम मेंबर्स को देने से पहले एक बार ये देख लेना है कि क्या गाइडलाइंस अडेयर है नहीं. तो लॉन्ग फॉर्म ऑडिट में कमेंट करने से पहले इसको अच्छी तरह से आप देख लीजिए. और बताइए नवीन जी, बताइए.
सर कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी है हमारे चैट
हाँ
बॉक्स
बोलिए,
में.
बोलिए
सर
बोलिए
थोड़ा ऊपर
बोलिए.
जाते हैं.
बताइए कौन सा लेना क्वेश्चन.
यस सर, विकास जी का क्वेश्चन, हाउ टू डिटेक्ट एवरग्रीन ऑफ लोन्स इन माइक्रो फाइनेंस लोन्स. हाउ टू डिटेक्ट एवरग्रीन ऑफ लोन्स इन माइक्रो फाइनेंस लोन्स.
Can you give some of the name in the microfinance? One example of this. Microfinance, what they want, just give one of the scheme, name of the loan account. So according to that I can tell them.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Vikas ji, if you have any of the schemes, you can please tell.
Any of the name of the account.
सर मैं सबको ना वो कर देता हूँ, सबको परमिशन देता हूँ करने का, अपने आप
हाँ
को
दो
unmute.
दीजिए,
हाँ,
दीजिए दीजिए दे दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay. ठीक है सर. Okay. The next question is whether following cases are restructuring for housing finance. Number A, change or increase in tenure due to floating interest rate of loan. B, decrease in EMI amount due to prepayment
Let us
of
go.
part loan.
Ravi ji, let us go one by one. First
Okay,
of all, reduction in rate of interest due to the floating change in the
floating interest
normally
rate of loan.
at present the rate of interest is increasing, number one. But if it is a reduction even due to that is not restructuring. Number second example.
So the second example is decrease in EMI amount due to prepayment of part loan. Nice, sir.
No, this is not restructuring.
Okay.
Next.
Sir, is there any changes in LFAR compared to last year?
No change this year, but last year it was changed. That we have
Yes.
discussed. There is no change.
Okay, sir. The next question is, sir, please explain the technique or procedure in detail for verifying audit trail in the system. Sir, ये तो बहुत बड़ा आंसर होगा. So, sir, sir, ASM is not appointed by bank. Then what we should do?
ASM, what is the full form of this? Can you tell me?
Sir, anti-surveillance measure होगा.
Eh?
Is not a point.
ASM
Sir,
full form.
Sir, agency for specialized monitoring.
Agency for specialized monitoring, you mean you are talking like in some banks, they are having a quarterly reporting of the monitoring of the account and use of the funds. Is it that?
Sir, Saurabh has mentioned that used in large borrower accounts.
Large borrower account, yes,
Yes.
that is that.
Yes, yes.
First
yes.
point is this, so far as the auditor is concerned, as a statutory auditor, if in the sanction letter it is mentioned it has to be done, we can report it a general observation. As per sanction letter, it has to be done and it has not been done. This is one. But if it has been done and we are having the report from them, please go through that report. Any adverse comment in that, if we feel that it should become a part of my long form audit report, it is affecting my classification or any adverse, highly adverse comment, then certainly we should take use that report. We should use not only this, in LFAR there is a separate column. We should use any report which is available, any special audit or monitoring or concurrent audit or internal inspection, whatever it is. If any major adverse point we find and it is affecting my classification, or I have to report it, because in the large accounts we have to give a detailed report. Even the adverse amount in the standard accounts also we have to give. So we should use that. और बताइए.
Sir, Pankaj is asking, hello sir, as per clause 5 advances in LFAR, we have to report list of accounts examined. Suppose
Yes.
my branch doesn't have amount of rupees 10 crore or even not 10% total advance. All accounts are below above limit. Will this clause be reported? If yes, how? If not, then will this clause figures will be nil?
This clause says fund based or non-fund based total 10% or 10 crore, whichever is less. So केस तो आएगा ही आएगा, क्योंकि फंड बेस मान लिया 30 करोड़, नॉन फंड बेस 20 करोड़, हो गया 50 करोड़, 50 का 10% हो गया 5 करोड़, 5 करोड़ और 10 करोड़ whichever is less आएगा तो है. पहली बात तो ये है. But see the bank guidelines. Some banks have given a specific format only for 10 crores and above. बैंक्स के सॉफ्टवेयर के अंदर जो फॉर्मेट आ रहा है, दे हैव इशूड द इंस्ट्रक्शन, आप 10 करोड़ या उससे ऊपर वाले केसेस ही रिपोर्ट कीजिए. सो सी योर अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर एंड सी द बैंक गाइडलाइंस. अदरवाइज सर्कुलर ये कहता है 10% ऑफ फंड बेस एंड नॉन फंड बेस और 10 करोड़ विच एवर इज लेस. इट स्पीक्स लाइक दिस. तो जरा अपने बैंक की जो अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर आता है या बैंक का सॉफ्टवेयर है वो देख लीजिए और उनसे क्लैरिफिकेशन है. और बताइए.
Sir, Kamalji is asking, can you please explain about audit trail verification, at least in short, एकदम short में आपके कुछ insights हो audit trail के ऊपर.
मैंने आपको काफी सारी ऑडिट ट्रेल तो बताई होगी.
Yes, sir.
तो उसको जरा ध्यान से रिकॉर्डिंग को सुन लेना, सब निकल के आ जाएगी. देखो एक चीज मैं आपको सभी को बता दूं, कोई भी रेडीमेड चीज आपको नहीं मिलेगी, पर आपको एक बार लॉन्ग फॉर्म ऑडिट रिपोर्ट का ना पूरा फॉर्मेट पढ़ना पड़ेगा. पढ़ने के बाद आपको खुद आएगा कि हमें क्या चाहिए बैंक से और क्या चीज सिस्टम बेस्ड है. तो वही आपका एक तरह से कवरिंग लेटर बनेगा पहले दिन का, और हमें मांगनी है डिटेल्स. और बताइए.
Sir, how to deal with the question below? Furnish your comments. Furnish your comments on data integrity, including data entry, data's correctness, integrity of data, no back-ended strategies.
देखिए सर, मैंने आपको यही बताया है, देयर आर सम क्लॉजेस. ये हो गया और एक एमएल का हो गया. ये क्लॉजेस तो इनकी इम्प्लीकेशन इतनी हाई है, मैं पहले ही बोल रहा हूं, कभी भी ब्लैंक चेक लिख के मत आना इन क्लॉजेस में. नो इशू ऑब्जर्व्ड. इनको देने से पहले तो ये लिखना जरूरी है कि हमने क्या क्या चेक किया, और उसके बाद लिखना ओवर चेक वेरिफिकेशन रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू दैट एक्सटेंट ओनली. मैं पूरी ब्रांच के डाटा में क्या चल रहा है, सिस्टम जनरेटेड ट्रांजेक्शन और मैनुअल ट्रांजेक्शन में, मुझे नहीं मालूम। तो कुछ एग्जांपल मैंने आपको बताया, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द मित्रा कमेटी रिकमेंडेशन आपको बताया। आपको मैंने बताया कि आप कंकरेंट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट्स देख लीजिएगा, उसमें कुछ एरर्स आ रहे हो। और फिर मैंने ऑडिट किया, लिखिए इन द ऑडिट, ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ ऑडिट व्हाट आई हैव वेरीफाइड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट। तो इसको इस ढंग से ड्राफ्ट कीजिएगा।
Okay, sir. Sir,
और बताइए।
Anupama ji is asking, sir, many of the cash credit are not being renewed within the time, and on asking the reason, the reply from bank is that we have sent the file with RSME or other authorized bank. On such a situation, what should we do?
Sir, I am as auditor, I am concerned with the compliance as per RBI guidelines.
Yes.
If there is a processing delay or internal delay at their end, I am helpless with that. I will give my report, wait for 180 days, not classify NPL. शॉर्ट रिव्यू मैंने आपको बता ही दिया है। अगर 6 महीने से पहले भी हो गया, ज्यादा एक साल, और ये 3-3 महीने के मल्टीपल, ये सर्कुलर इसी वजह से आया तो चोपड़ा जी ने बताया आपको। तो भैया इसके अंदर वो तो अब आपकी रिस्क एपेटाइट है, आपको क्या करना है। ब्रांच वाले कहते हैं जब हम ऊपर छुड़वा लेंगे, भाई छुड़वा लेना, अगर मेरे हिसाब से बनता है तो बनता है। मैं आपको और क्या बताऊं, गोल्ड लोन के अंदर क्या हो रहा है, गोल्ड लोन के अंदर क्या होता है, आज एक गोल्ड लोन के अंदर बुलेट पेमेंट एडजस्टमेंट होती है। आज बैंक ने किसी को 5 लाख रुपए का गोल्ड लोन दिया, उसने कहा आपको 12 महीने में पे करना है, बुलेट पेमेंट है। वो 12 महीने में पेमेंट नहीं होता। जब 12वें महीने की डेट आती है ना, लास्ट डेट या उससे अगली डेट आती है, उस दिन पहले नया लोन सैंक्शन होता है और नए लोन की अमाउंट को पुराने में ट्रांसफर किया जाता है, ना कि पुराने की नई। जबकि वो बुलेट पेमेंट, इट हैज टू कम फ्रॉम द सोर्स। दिस इज व्हाट इज, दिस इज अ रोल ओवर। सो दिस इज हैपनिंग। तो ये तो अकाउंट एनपीए होगा, पैसे तो आए ही नहीं है ना। So this is what happening. So we have to be conceptually clear about all these things. और बताइए।
Sir, another question. I am having a stress account and given further new loan and closed old stress account. Is it a evergreening of loan?
नहीं, दोबारा बताइए, क्या बोला आपने।
Sir, I am having a stress account and given further new loan and closed old stress account. पुराने को बंद कर दिया।
देखिए ऐसा है,
Yes.
अगर मैं सिंपल कहूं कि आपका मान लिया 10-20-50 लाख रुपए का लोन है, पुराना बंद करके नया कर दिया, वो फाइनेंशियल डिफिकल्टी के अंदर, इफ एनी कंसेशन गिवन इन फाइनेंशियल डिफिकल्टी, अगर उसमें कवर होता है तो रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग हो गया। पर अगर वो गाइडलाइंस के उसके अंदर हुआ है पार्ट B1 ऑफ द स्ट्रेस एसेट्स, बड़े लोन जो है, तो जरा उसकी कंप्लायंस देख लेना। पर उसके लिए प्रोविजनिंग अलग है, वो सब ये नॉर्मली एक्स्ट्रा लार्ज ब्रांचेस में मिलेगा। अगर आप नॉर्मल की बात कर रहे हो तो फाइनेंशियल डिफिकल्टी में अगर किसी को मैंने कोई कंसेशन दिया है, दैट इज रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग। अदरवाइज देयर आर टू पार्ट्स ऑफ दिस सर्कुलर IRAC norm, B1 and B2. B2 is a normal restructuring. B1 for the large advances, जहां पे रेड फ्लैग अकाउंट होता है या स्ट्रेस अकाउंट होता है, SMA 0 NP होने से पहले वो स्कीम बनाई जाती है, ड्राफ्ट होता है, ऊपर रिपोर्टिंग होती है, वो सब चीज होती है। अगर उसके अंदर है तो उस स्कीम को एक बार कवरेज आप देख लीजिए एंड देन गो एज पर द पार्ट B1 ऑफ द IRAC norm, सर। और बताइए।
Sir, Sushil ji is asking, sir, we have to give true and correct for public sector and private bank के लिए हम true and fair देते हैं, why?
प्राइवेट बैंक के लिए कौन ट्रू एंड फेयर कौन दे रहा है? बैंक का फॉर्मेट तो रिपोर्टिंग का भाई दोनों का ही एक है, वो अलग नहीं हो सकता।
ठीक है सर।
आपसे ट्रू एंड करेक्ट, आप अगर ये कह रहे हो कि LFAR में ये डिस्कस किया है, भाई साहब LFAR में हम इन सम एंड फ्यू तो दे नहीं सकता ना मैं, अब वहां तो है ही नहीं ना। कितने केस आपने क्या सैंपल, आपने सैंपल मांगा तो मुझे सैंपल देना पड़ेगा ना। सो दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव टू डू। बाकी रिपोर्टिंग फॉर्मेट तो चाहे वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक है, सब लिस्टेड बैंक है, सब जगह एक ही है। और बताइए।
सर क्वेश्चंस आर कमिंग आर एंडलेस, आई थिंक।
नहीं सर, सभी बैंक के लिए एक नहीं है फॉर्मेट। इंस्टीट्यूट की गाइडलाइंस में दोनों पब्लिक सेक्टर और प्राइवेट बैंक में ये डिफरेंसेस है सर, ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में। और लास्ट में सर पढ़ने से पता चलता है दोनों में ये डिफरेंसेस है।
देखिए सर, मैंने आप एक मिनट के लिए, मैंने प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक की, सही बात है, मैंने बैलेंस शीट नहीं देखी। लॉजिकल आई फील बिकॉज ऑल आर द लिस्टेड कंपनीज, फॉर्मेट शुड बी एज पर द ROC and all these things and the CARO, they should be the same. If you are telling it's a different, let me check and discuss Chopra sir, and then I will get back to you.
Yeah, please sir, go through that. Private sector.
I will. That will be updation for me.
Thank
That
you,
I will
sir.
look at.
Thank you.
और बताइए sir.
Sir, Suresh is asking the CC account is renewed. The CC account is renewed after 180 days during the year. Then the same is reported in LFAR.
Okay, first of all, if 180 days has lapsed, even short review has not been done before 180 days. So account is on continuous basis will be classified as NPA immediately after 180 days. This short review is being done to regularize this. That is not acceptable. This is my opinion. If they want to keep it continue, at least they should do some short review before 180 days to keep it alive. Otherwise, और वही मैक्सिमम मैंने बोला, मैं तो 1 साल से ज्यादा लेके ही नहीं चलता. और बताइए सर.
Sir, Pankaj is asking, online audit report and LFAR bank software has limits of words in which comments are to be submitted. How to overcome such issues?
सब में है. उसके अंदर देखो, मैं भी कर रहा हूँ और ऑनलाइन कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो बड़ा सिंपल सी बात है, वो सॉफ्टवेयर अगर मैं पूरी अपनी रिपोर्ट डालने लगूं वो डल ही नहीं सकती. अगर मेरी LFAR अगर मैं मैनुअली निकालता हूँ 100 पेज में जाती है, वहां स्पेस ही नहीं है, वो बार बार सेव करो, सेव ही नहीं होता. ओके, तो मैं तो सीधे सा मैं तो एक काम करके आता हूँ. आई एम डिस्चार्जिंग माई ड्यूटी. बैंक कैन नॉट लिमिट माई वर्किंग. What I want to give, I have to give, and I should give. So I put in this report as a separate manual. A hard copy of the report is submitted to the branch. वहां सब ये लिख करके और बाद में पूरी फॉर्मेट की रिपोर्ट प्रिंट निकाल के और नेक्स्ट निकाल के फिर उनको हम बाय हैंड दे के आते हैं. अब फिर बाद में वहां से मेल आती है, सर वो हार्ड कॉपी की भी सॉफ्ट कॉपी दे दो. भैया वो भी ले लो आप, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं. दैट इज व्हाट हाउ आई एम डूइंग. So this is what we can do. और बताइए सर.
Sir, Jagdish ji is sharing his experience that
Hello.
that in
एक
many.
एक मिनट सर, मेरी कोई अर्जेंट कॉल है, just 1 minute.
Yes.
Sir, may I
बोलिए
ask
साहब.
you something? Hello, good evening.
हाँ बोलिए.
Yes, please go ahead.
Actually, in continuation of what you said, can we just put separate annexure in the?
But point is this, in software there is no option for adding.
No, we will just write that the details given in a separate annexure. ऐसा करके हम दे सकते हैं क्या?
आप दे सकते हो. देखिए पर्पस ये है, जो मेरे को देना है वो मैं उनको देना चाहता हूँ, and that should reach to them. अगर बैंक के अंदर ये ऑप्शन है, उन्होंने विंडो दे रखी है सेपरेट annexure attached, okay, then you can give that. That is no problem.
Okay, thank you.
चलिए सर, और बताइए.
Sir, in case anyone has any other question, they can raise their hand. I'll unmute you one by one and you can ask the question. In case anyone has any other questions. Sir, सुरेश जी ना वही क्वेश्चन को फिर से पूछ रहे हैं. सर, उनका क्वेश्चन मैं एक बार पूरा पढ़ लेता हूँ.
बोलिए.
My question is that the CC account is already renewed after 180 days on 31st March. Then the same is reported in LFAR on account or to be classified as NPA.
Sir, issue is this. Point is this, if the regular renewal is done or short review is done.
Suresh
Because
ji,
if
yes.
After 180 days, regular renewal is done or short review is done.
Regular, sir. Regular,
then
renewal.
It is okay.
It is okay.
Regular, it is okay. Because within 180 days, the regular renewal is to be done. अगर उससे पहले short review पे है तो मैं एक बार इसको छोड़ दूंगा, तब तक चलेगा, साल तक ले लूंगा. पर regular renewal ही जब हो गई, तो irregularity has been regularized before 31st of March, then I can keep it. This is okay. और बताइए सर.
Sir, I think you have answered all the questions very.
Okay. I am thankful to
everyone is
the branch, all executives of the study circle and the members for enlightening me and asking the questions that ultimately add to my data bank and my knowledge. Thanks a lot to all of you.
If anyone has any other question, they can mail the same to us on Views Exchange email ID और हम सर को वो कर देंगे forward, and if जब भी time मिलेगा सर को वो हमें revert कर देंगे, because our questions are coming continuously. Okay, sir.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Thanks, sir, for covering the topic in such an elaborate way, sir. लोगों का बार बार रिक्वेस्ट सर वही आ रहा है कि वो शेयर कर लो, शेयर कर दो, इतनी रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है.
रिकॉर्डिंग शेयर कीजिए.
वो तो कर बोल दिए सर, हम लिख दिए सर, रिकॉर्डिंग शेयर कर देंगे.
वो रिकॉर्डिंग में आपकी बहुत अच्छी रिकॉर्डिंग आ रही होगी, आई बिलीव सो. चलिए साहब, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Sir, I would like to give a vote of thanks. Good evening, everyone. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webinar. On behalf of Views Exchange, I, Naveen Singhal, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Ajay Jain sir. Sir has extensively discussed all the technicalities of long-form audit report LFAR. Thank you, sir. Sincere thanks to the convener, deputy convener, and secretary of Views Exchange. Thank to all the delegates for making the time to be with us today and helping us make the seminar a success. Thank you one and all. I request all the delegates to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Views Exchange. Some of you were continuously messaging me for the recording and PPT. You will get more informative videos on our channel. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.